The story begins with the main character waking up from being unconscious because of a loud noise. The first thing he saw when he opened his eyes was a fire. When he looked closer, he realized it was a bonfire, and some people were celebrating a party, but he mistook it for a camp party and didn't want to miss out. Suddenly, he smelled roasted lamb, which made him even more determined to join the party, as it had both food and beautiful ladies. The moment he tried to run toward them, he fell to the ground and noticed he was tied with a rope. He was confused about why he was tied up. Then, a screen appeared in front of him, showing that he had a mission to survive for 12 hours while being chased by primitive people. Soon, Chen saw some men roaming around the bonfire. He wondered where they came from, and tried to recall where a certain girl was. Chen even tried to tell the primitive men that there was a mistake, but as they came closer, Chen remembered what had happened to him. The scene then shifted to the past, 12 hours earlier, on a desolate island where Chen was drinking water from a river. He wondered why, just the day before, he had been with Sister Zhang buying things, but after taking a nap, he woke up on an unknown island. Chen was wondering if God had punished him. Suddenly, he saw some men and a boy playing. Thinking it was a cosplay, he was shocked when the small boy attacked him with a stick. He started running, asking them not to be serious, thinking they were just filming something. However, it wasn't like that. After a few seconds, Chen put some distance between himself and the primitive people. He thought no one could catch him while sprinting because he was a trained runner. But to his surprise, the primitive people started attacking him with spears. Suddenly, a screen appeared in front of him, revealing that he had a main mission. He was shocked and wondered what it meant. Was it some kind of system? Had he traveled to another world? Still running very fast, he was hit by a spear and fainted. The next thing he remembered was waking up. The scene then shifted to the present time, where Chen's system showed that he had survived and completed his mission. Chen received a reward for completing his mission, a survival package and an attribute point +1. He interpreted this as a game system and wondered if he had been transported into a game world. Chen then opened the survival package and found a split mountain axe as a reward. He also gained proficiency in wild survival and basic medicine. As a result, he became able to understand the language of the primitive people. He then thought that it must be a primitive world, where civilization had yet to begin and everything was in its early stages. He believed the game's objective was to survive in this world and build civilization. So Chen wondered if the system would eventually make him the prime minister or even a god. He asked the system to distribute attribute points to strength and equip the split mountain axe. When it was done, Chen gained enormous strength, which allowed him to easily break the rope he was tied with. However, Chen was soon spotted by the primitive men named Stonebone and Langu Chui. Stonebone ordered the others to capture Chen and not let him escape. Stonebone and Langu Chui approached Chen and told him he couldn't escape. Chen, full of attitude, shouted back, asking how dare they disrespect their god. Stonebone asked what god they didn't know. Seeing Langu Chui, Chen thought he must be the leader. He told Stonebone that he had been sent from heaven to dominate them, and because they had disrespected him, he had to punish them. Hearing this, Stonebone became furious and ran towards Chen to attack him. Chen's system displayed a new mission. He had to deter the primitive people and subdue them to become their leader. It also warned that the penalty for failure would be losing the split mountain axe. Seeing this, Chen became tense because without the axe, he doubted he could survive in such a time and place. Determined not to lose in any scenario, Chen blocked Stonebone's attack, but the ground around them cracked under the force. Seeing the force of Stonebone's attack, Chen was surprised by the strength of the primitive people. However, he knew that his body had been enhanced and wasn't weak either. With full power, Chen pushed back, and to his surprise, Stonebone's weapon was cut in half. Everyone in the primitive camp was stunned by Chen's display of strength. Sensing something bad was about to happen, Chen had a sinking feeling. Suddenly, Stonebone shouted and ordered everyone to charge at Chen together. Stunned, Chen started running away, questioning why Stonebone had agreed to a duel, but now the whole gang was teaming up against a 24-year-old boy. As one boy tried to attack him, Chen dodged and swiftly countered. Furiously, Chen warned them not to go overboard, claiming he could take down 5 people alone before dying and demanded they move back. He realized that if those barbarians attacked him together, he would easily die within seconds. Suddenly, to Chen's surprise, every barbarian started getting scared and running away from him. He wondered what had happened. Suddenly, his system showed that he had a side mission to help the primitive people by chasing away a ferocious saber-tooth, and it had been automatically accepted. Chen was initially confused reading the mission, but his confusion vanished when he realized that a saber-toothed tiger was indeed standing behind him. The moment Chen saw it, he started running to save himself. The tiger chased Chen relentlessly, attacking him as he ran. Chen was tense, wondering why everyone seemed to want to eat him. He couldn't understand why the system would give him a mission like that. Knowing that even one bite from the tiger could make half his body disappear, Suddenly, Chen felt a claw attack from the tiger, which hurt him badly. He realized that fighting head-on wouldn't work in any sense, so he knew he had to calm himself down and think wisely. He noticed smoke rising from a fire and remembered that saber-toothed tigers, like most beasts, were afraid of fire. Chen decided to use this knowledge to his advantage and planned to maneuver out of the situation. He then challenged the tiger to confront him head-on. As the tiger attacked, Chen tried to slide away downward, but to his shock, the tiger used his body as a surface to jump off of. Shocked, Chen started running again, deciding not to trust movies anymore. With no other choice, he ran towards the bonfire, using plants and other objects as cover to reach his destination safely. Dodging and hiding, Chen managed to reach near the bonfire. He quickly grabbed a stick with fire on it and tried to scare the tiger away. To his relief, the tiger was indeed frightened by the fire. Now Chen called out to the tiger to come and fight, but deep down, he was hoping the tiger would retreat. Suddenly, he heard a strange sound and tensely wondered if it was some kind of larger monster approaching him. Hearing the roar of another monster or animal, the saber-toothed tiger became tense and in fear, it ran away. Seeing this, Chen wondered what had scared the tiger off, and if it was running away, he considered what he should do next. Suddenly, Chen's system showed that the mission had been completed, and he received the reward of 2 attribute points. Hearing the sounds again, Chen decided to leave the area first, prioritizing his safety for the time being. He asked the system to allocate 1 point each to strength and agility. With enhanced agility and speed, he sprinted towards the primitive people. Chen noticed a significant increase in his agility and speed. Seeing Chen alive, Stonebone was surprised and asked him in confusion why he hadn't been eaten by the saber-toothed tiger. Chen smiled and replied that to him, the saber-toothed tiger was just like a kitty. So Chen easily defeated the saber-toothed tiger, causing it to run away in fear. Afterward, Chen smiled, hoping that now the primitive people would admire him. Chen received a new mission to assist the primitive people in building their homes, establishing a tribe, and increasing the population to 50 within 18 days. Chen counted and found that there were only a total of 15 people, including children. To expand the tribe to 50 people, he realized he would need to assimilate other tribes into theirs. The scene then shifted to nighttime, where everyone was sleeping, but Chen couldn't sleep because he was hungry. He decided to go and find some food for himself. He noticed that the primitives were so brave that they didn't keep anyone on watch while sleeping. However, his stomach growled again, prompting him to prioritize finding food first. He remembered the roasted lamb he saw earlier, but he was confused and tense about whether to go for it. If a saber-toothed tiger could scare someone, it meant there was something very frightening nearby. Chen tried to reassure himself that he wouldn't encounter the monster, because he needed to find food no matter what. So, with his axe in hand, he moved towards the place where he saw the roasted lamb earlier. Sometime later, Chen cautiously reached the place where the roasted lamb was. He approached carefully, mindful of any dangers. As he got closer, he noticed there were other prey animals nearby. Now that he was a leader, he knew he couldn't only think about himself. So he gathered all the other prey animals. On his way back, he had a strange feeling and suddenly fell into a pit. Furiously, he shouted about who dug the hole there. However, upon closer inspection, he realized it wasn't a hole at all, but rather huge footprints left by a monster or a large animal, like a dinosaur. He then thought that after encountering the saber-toothed tiger, he should have realized this wasn't just a barbaric place, but an era where history's scariest and deadliest creatures lived. He quickly decided to find a safe place for everyone, knowing he couldn't delay for long. The next morning, the primitives were fighting over the food. Seeing this, Chen became frustrated and shouted at everyone to stop snatching food from each other. He realized that the primitives still didn't understand modesty or economy, and he knew he had many things to teach them. Chen then announced that the current food would be given priority to the hunters who had joined him on the hunt that day. Stonebone added that they usually took turns hunting, and the previous day it had been him, Ah Gun, and Huang Shi. Now it's Lu Ting, Heiju Jiao, and Lang Gu Chui's turn for the present-day hunt. Stonebone suggested that everyone wanted to come if their king was going. Everyone agreed with Stonebone, but Chen noticed the boy named Sam who had attacked him the previous day. Chen thought that Sam might be afraid he was holding a grudge against him, so he decided he needed to find a way to cheer Sam up. Chen announced to everyone that whoever wanted to could come with him, as he was searching for a place to build them a home. Hearing this, a girl named Mia came forward and asked what home meant. Chen explained that home was where they would live together as a community, much like how tree roots provide nourishment and security for current and future family members. Hearing this, Mia happily came and hugged Chen, asking if she could live with their king. Chen responded warmly, saying that everyone would be part of one big family in the future, and they would all live together. Mia got excited and started saying that the king was willing to live with her and have kids. Stonebone asked Chen where they were going to build their home. Chen gathered everyone and explained that they needed to find open land with mountains to the north and rivers to the south. And in that way, they would have access to drinking water, irrigation for farming, firewood, and stone materials for construction. It would also establish a relatively secure zone, reducing their risk of being attacked. He also mentioned that they could find enough seeds and wood for farming and building houses in the new location. Chen then thought it would be best if the settlement was near the seaside, as the delta could provide fertile land and a favorable environment for learning to navigate the sea in the future. Sam responded that he knew where the place Chen was mentioning was located. Chen was pleased and asked Sam if he could lead them there. Sam responded that the place wasn't very far, but he suggested they not go because there was a herd of cows that wasn't easy to deal with. Hearing this, Chen wondered why they should be afraid of cows, since they could provide rich meat and other domestic products. So Chen decided that the herd of cows would be their prey, and he asked everyone to get ready as they were heading east towards their new home. The scene then shifted to the place where Sam had taken everyone. He reassured Chen that the area was safe, so they could proceed without worries. Chen urged them not to waste time and assured them not to worry about the saber-toothed tiger, as it had been chased away. If it comes back, he'll save them. Sam explained that once they reached the top of the mountain, they could see where the cows gathered. Upon reaching the summit, Sam tensely instructed everyone to hide because the cows were below. Chen wondered if there were other monsters besides the cow herd. Suddenly, he caught a whiff of the sea and asked his system to open the map. He was pleased to see that it looked like a suitable area to build a city. Out of nowhere, Sam pulled him back and gestured for him to be quiet, warning that the cow herd might hear them. After some time, Chen checked his manual and found that there were 3 plants and 2 animals in the area ahead. The plants included green sunflower grass, dragon wine, and big tsubaki, while the animals were gray squirrels and pincer wasps. When Chen couldn't find any information about the cow herd, he asked Sam for its location. Sam explained that the cow herd was in a small forest near the river bend and offered to take them for a closer look. Half an hour later, they arrived at the forest, where Sam warned that going further could alert the cow herd to their presence. Chen was confused by the quietness around them and wondered why Sam was so concerned about the potential harm from a cow. Suddenly, his scanning results changed, and he grew tense, worrying if there were giant monsters nearby. To his relief, there was only one animal in the surrounding area. Chen then asked Sam if he remembered incorrectly, but before Sam could respond, Chen noticed a tree moving. Sam told Chen to look up, and when Chen did, he was shocked and wondered what type of monster it was. Upon checking the system, it showed that it was an iron black horn cow. Stonebone tensely asked Chen if they were really going to hunt that cow, hiding behind in fear. Chen responded tensely with a yes and instructed them to lay an ambush there while he went to assess the situation. Others were amazed by Chen, thinking he was so cool. However, behind the tree, Chen was crying, wondering why it had come to this because he didn't want the tribe to die. Now he had to rely on his agility attribute. He then checked and noticed that even the cow's arms were bigger than him, so he tried to find the smallest one. Calmly, Chen attempted to greet it, but upon seeing Chen, the cow's facial expression changed and it started roaring at him. Just as he approached, the entire herd of cows started chasing Chen. He swam across the river to the other side, crying out for them not to chase him. Meanwhile, the tribes misunderstood, thinking their leader Chen was bravely provoking the entire herd to keep them safe. They discussed it among themselves, while Chen, without hesitation, leaped off the ridge and landed on it. Suddenly the ridge shook, leaving Chen to wonder what was happening. Looking down, he saw that a cow had crashed into the mountain because it couldn't stop itself. Chen got an idea of how to knock them all down because he noticed that the cows were unable to climb such heights. When they returned, Chen pondered what to do because he couldn't descend with the aggressive cows waiting below. So he had no choice but to climb upward. Chen managed to ascend, and upon reaching the top, he was stunned by the view. It was exactly what he had hoped for. He decided to build an entire empire in that perfect spot and felt elated that his journey had finally begun. On the other side, Sam noticed that the cow herd was retreating, so he wondered why it was happening and where their king was. Stonebone speculated whether their king had been crushed by the cows, so he climbed a tree to check, intending to retrieve Chen's axe. But as soon as he stepped onto the tree, Chen's axe came flying and landed beside him in the tree. Stonebone was stunned, and Chen praised him for his boldness in assuming their king had died. Sam and the others were relieved to see Chen alive. Stonebone asked if the cows were very strong. Chen replied that he planned to use cow meat as a nutritional supplement for his body, and asked if they also wanted to try it. Stonebone and Sam declined, saying they weren't a match for those cows, and even if they could defeat them, they wouldn't eat the meat. Chen furiously asked if they hadn't heard what he said, insisting that they just needed to answer his question. They all got scared and agreed that they wanted to eat it. Chen shared that he would teach them how to make weapons and how to hunt using them. He planned for them to return in 3 days to hunt down the cows. In the next scene, Chen cut a tree in half with one slash. Everyone was amazed at his strength, but Stonebone stepped forward and asked Chen why he cut down the tree since it didn't bear any fruit. Chen explained that they would use the tree to make weapons, so they should pay attention to what he was going to do. He instructed them on how to make spears from wooden sticks. Chen noticed that he had a technology attribute bonus when crafting weapons. Chen showed them how to use the spear for hunting by demonstrating how to throw it. The tribes were amazed because in the past, they had always gathered wood but never realized it could be used in such a powerful way. Excitedly, they all expressed their eagerness to try using the spear. Chen asked Stonebone to go first. While Stonebone practiced with the spear, Chen went on to make more spears. Within a few hours, all the tribes started practicing with the spears. While they were practicing, Chen challenged Lu Teng and Heiju Jiao to come at him together for a fight. Both of them charged furiously and attacked Chen, but he easily dodged their attacks. Chen then counterattacked, knocking out Heiju Jiao. Lu Teng, furious, attacked again, and this time some blood was drawn. Everyone was stunned. Chen told Lu Teng that if it had been the sharp side of the spear, he would have been dead by now. Lu Teng shouted that their king was a god and they couldn't defeat him. Chen explained that they were relying on brute force instead of technique, emphasizing that the spear's advantage lay in its tip. He instructed them to use the sharp edge to aim precisely at enemies or prey. Chen asked them to start practicing by focusing first on throwing. He set up a target and asked them to throw at it from a distance. Everyone tried one by one, but no one was able to hit it. Chen thought that maybe no one had any talent at all, and he felt he had been too hasty in his judgment. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a spear hit the target. Chen was surprised to see it, and the others were shocked that someone had actually hit it. Chen turned around and saw that Huang Shi was standing there. Chen asked Huang Shi if he was the one who threw the spear. Huang Shi asked if he had won. Chen replied with a yes and gave him 2 spears as a gift. Suddenly, someone came and told Chen that a beast was approaching them. Chen asked everyone to be ready for the fight, but deep down, he was happy that he could use this hunt to gain them some experience. A beast emerged from the forest and roared in front of everyone. Chen jumped towards the beast, shouting that they were going to have it as their dinner for the night. The fight started, and Chen instructed everyone to listen to his commands, circle around the beast, and wait for his orders. He then attacked the beast, and as he did, the beast's speed slowed down. Chen asked Stonebone and Huang Shi to throw their spears from the backside. As they attacked, the beast became furious and forcefully pushed Chen back, breaking his spear. Chen knew he needed to act quickly. But before that, Huang Shi threw the spear, and it perfectly targeted the beast's mouth. Chen was impressed by Huang Shi's accuracy. Gradually, everyone started throwing spears at the beast, and Sam was waiting above, sitting in a tree. Due to the onslaught of attacks, the beast tried to flee, but Chen blocked its path and instructed Sam to attack. Sam jumped towards the beast and thrust his spear into its head. The beast became even more furious and entered a berserk mode. Everyone tensed up at the sight of the berserk beast. Sam was in danger, still holding the spear he had used to attack. Chen ran towards the beast and leaped to strike with his axe. There was a sudden blast, and the entire area filled with smoke. Everyone anxiously wondered if their king was okay. When the smoke cleared, Chen asked everyone to stop shouting, jokingly asking if they were trying to summon souls. He then praised everyone for their efforts and announced that they would have a hearty meal that night. Hearing this, everyone became happy. Chen then praised Sam for his exceptional work and told Huang Shi that he was the MVP of the hunt. He promised that in the future, Huang Shi would accompany him on hunts and that he would provide Huang Shi with new weapons to try out. The scene then shifted sometime later, where Stonebone was telling the other tribes how he had helped Chen defeat the beast. Mia was walking nearby with a piece of meat, and Stonebone asked her to give it to him. But Mia denied, saying that the meat was reserved for their king. She then offered it to Chen to eat. Chen asked if they were going to eat it raw. Mia asked if there was a problem with that. Chen mentioned that he remembered them using fire to cook, so he wondered why they were now eating it raw. Mia responded that they couldn't preserve the fire source from last time, so they had no choice but to eat it raw. Chen then thought that fire marked the beginning of civilization, as it allowed humans to fend off wild beasts, create a safer and more comfortable living environment, and improve their diet. He decided that to empower the primitive tribes, he would teach them how to make fire. Chen then asked everyone to gather around so he could teach them how to make fire. He took a broken spear and used it on a wooden block to create sparks. He instructed them to add wood shavings and tree fluff into the depression in the trunk and roll it between their hands to create friction and ignite the fire. Seeing the fire, the tribes were amazed and started praising Chen. Stonebone began shouting that their king had produced fire and wanted everyone to know. But Chen angrily grabbed him and told him to shut up, emphasizing the importance of maintaining a low profile. Chen received a reward of 10 technology points, and he realized that earning technology points was relatively easy, although he didn't initially know their use. Upon investigation, he discovered that technology points could be used to identify hereditary plaques, with each identification consuming 10 technology points. While Chen was pondering over the technology points, Sam approached and informed him that while they were dividing the meat, he noticed traces of nursing on the wild boar. He suspected that there might be cubs nearby, and upon searching the nearby areas, he actually found them. Suddenly, Chen received a side quest to fence in the wild boar cubs and domesticate them. The system asked Chen if he wanted to accept the quest. Chen then asks Mia and Sam to go together and bring back the boar cubs. He tells them to be careful and not hurt the cubs because he wants all of them. Mia holds Sam's hand, and they run to where the boar cubs are. Chen thought of making a pigsty before they returned, so he went and asked Stonebone to come after eating because he had some work for him. The scene then shifted to the evening, where Stonebone was carrying wooden branches and asked his friends why their king had asked them to bring so many branches. Upon returning to their den, Stonebone saw that the others were making something new. Confused, he asked Huang Shi what they were doing. Huang Shi responded that the king called it a grass rope, and it was sturdier than the vines they used before. He also explained the process. They had to smooth out the straw and then weave it into ropes by crossing. Stonebone got frustrated because he didn't understand what was going on. Chen asked Stonebone not to just stand there and to bring the branches to him. He then told everyone to pick up the branches and tie the grass ropes in a specific way. They needed to make at least 5 of those wooden frames. Then he asked them to insert the wooden frames into the pits he had prepared. After that, they were to bind the frames together at the top to form the shape of a cage and cover them with straw in an orderly manner. As soon as it was ready, the entire tribe rushed inside the pigsty and started fighting, each wanting to live there and have children with the king. Seeing them, Chen got tense and said that the pigsty wasn't for them. Just then, Sam and Mia returned with the cubs. Chen asked Sam to put the cubs in the pigsty he had made. Hearing this, Stonebone ran towards Chen, crying and shouting that he couldn't do that. Stonebone again asked Chen how such a good nest could be given to those wild boars. Agun also hugged Chen, agreeing with Stonebone and saying they all wanted to live in that nest. Stonebone added that they wanted a home where they could cuddle with the king. Hearing that, Chen furiously threw them away, saying he didn't want to cuddle with a man. He then stated that he didn't care if they wanted to live in the pigsty, but when they built comfortable houses, neither of them would have a place in them. Agun was stunned upon hearing it and suggested that if there was a better nest available, he didn't mind living elsewhere and Chen could let Stonebone live in it. However, Stonebone also refused to live in the pigsty. Chen then instructed Sam to put all the boars in the pigsty. Huang Shi came to Chen and asked why they needed to care for those wild boars if they were meant to be their food. Chen responded by asking if they didn't want to have plenty of food to eat without hunting. Huang Shi was happy to hear it and responded with a yes. Chen explained that by raising those cubs and having them produce more piglets, they could secure a stable food source. Chen received his reward for completing the quest of taming the beasts. Upon opening it, he found a packet of salt from the supply chest and learned recipes for fried eggplant, stir-fried peanuts, fried eggs, roast lamb legs, and stir-fried clams. Confused by the rewards, Chen wondered if the system was suggesting he become a chef, considering their underdeveloped technology. His system indicated that completing these recipes could unlock special rewards. Seeing the recipes, Chen decided to give cooking a try. Late at night, everyone else was asleep except for Chen and Sam. Chen praised Sam for his daily hard work. Sam responded that he felt he had caused trouble for their king when they captured him, so he believed it was better for him to endure some hardships. Chen hugged him and laughingly reassured Sam that he held no grudges against him. He then asked Sam if there were any other tribes living nearby like theirs. Sam responded that they had encountered a few other tribes, but they were all unfriendly and looked quite different from them. Chen asked Sam to tell him more about where these tribes were located. Sam shared that he knew about 3 different clans nearby: the Coconut Grove clan, the Bay clan, and the Giant Stone clan. He mentioned they were located at a considerable distance, requiring at least a day and night of travel to reach their territories. Chen asked Sam to provide details about each of the clans. Sam shared that the Coconut Grove clan had around 30-40 members who disliked conflicts and were skilled in long journeys. Their leader was a formidable woman. Sam then described the Bay clan, noting that it also consisted of 30 to 40 members who looked terrifying. He mentioned that the Bay clan was known for constantly engaging in internal conflicts. Lastly, Sam talked about the Giant Stone clan, which was the most powerful with the largest population. They typically resided on a mountain in the southwest and only occasionally came down for activities. Sam mentioned that he had heard the leader of the Giant Stone clan possessed divine power and could defeat a tiger with bare hands. After hearing about everyone, Chen thought that if Sam's intel was correct, then the Coconut Grove clan would be the most ideal first target for assimilation. He reasoned that with the other groups full of complexities and potential conflicts, he would need to find a peaceful way to conquer them. Suddenly feeling someone behind him, Chen turned and found Mia hugging him from behind. She asked why he hadn't slept yet and if he wanted to do something exciting with her. Tensely, Chen responded with a no. Mia sat on the ground in a weird position and asked if she looked like a kitty, Chen felt tense and quickly took Sam by the hand, running away. He said that it seemed like Sam needed his help with something, so he would talk with her later. Mia felt a little sad by Chen's action. The scene then shifted to the next morning, where Chen and Sam were waiting for the Bay Clan people to arrive near the seaside. The Bay Clan people arrived at the seaside to hunt a dodo bird. Chen felt a little happy that they had come after waiting all night. However, he noticed that the Bay Clan members started fighting amongst themselves over the bird. Chen wondered if they could absorb the Bay Clan, not only to increase their numbers, but also to secure resources like the dodo birds. Sam responded that their numbers were not even half of those in the Bay Clan, so they couldn't win in a fight. Chen then thought that if they had powerful weapons, maybe they could win, but first, they would have to deal with the herd of cows. Afterward, they could use the new resources to craft even more powerful weapons and equipment. So they headed back to their den, and everyone became happy upon seeing Chen return. Stonebone shared that they had thought their king had abandoned them. Chen apologized to everyone for making them worry and explained that they had a lot to do. He asked Stonebone to practice throwing spears and instructed Huang Shi to be in charge of teaching them throwing skills. Chen gave Huang Shi 1 day to make them as proficient as possible. Suddenly, Mia arrived and showed a leaf, mentioning its comfort for wiping after going to the bathroom. Chen replied that he needed help sharpening the wooden spears, so Mia should gather all the women and collect some rocks. The scene then shifted after some time, where Mia returned with the other ladies carrying rocks in their hands. Mia asked if the rocks were okay. Chen responded affirmatively and explained that they needed to rub the stones on the whetstone until a sharp edge or point was obtained. Then tie the stone onto a wooden stick with rope, and there they have it. A wooden stone axe. The girls were amazed by it, but Chen was furious when he received only 1 point as a reward. Chen then instructed them to follow his directions and show what they had made. Mia asked Chen to look, as she had already created one. When Chen looked, he saw that Mia had made a dual-edged axe, so he praised her for it. Mia was happy to hear the praises, and then Chen unlocked a new hidden feature called Talent Discovery. When Chen looked at Mia, his system indicated that she had a talent for tool building. Mia noticed Chen staring at her, so she asked him embarrassingly why he was looking at her. Chen didn't respond to her question and instead instructed the ladies to build as many spears and axes as they could. Gradually, they managed to create a total of 30 spears and axes. Chen praised Mia for creating more than half of the total weapons. Suddenly, he noticed that her hands were scratched and injured from rubbing the stones. Seeing Chen show concern for her, Mia blushed. At that moment, other girls also came and asked if Chen cared about them too. Chen responded that it's not what they think, but they got very close to him. He quickly ran away from there, declaring that it was enough for the day and that everyone could take a break. As he headed toward where the men were training and practicing, he suddenly got attacked with a log of wood, but somehow he dodged it and realized it was part of the tribe's training regimen, with Huang Shi teaching them well. Chen then asked Huang Shi about their progress. Huang Shi responded that everyone had made significant progress and could now easily hit their targets. Chen's talent discovery screen showed that Huang Shi was a throwing master. Huang Shi shared that Lu Ting had great strength but struggled with the timing of throws, and he could only unleash his potential when teamed up with Stonebone. Huang Shi also mentioned that Lan Gu Chui was the first to master the technique. What surprised him the most was the effectiveness of the yellow stone and wolfbone hammer. Individually, they were ordinary, but when used together as a team, they alternately threw 4 spears and scored the highest points. Chen was happy to hear it, thinking that now they could easily deal with the horde of black bulls. Stonebone asked if Chen was sure about it. Chen responded affirmatively, but to be safe, they should also bring the secret weapon. Huang Shar was surprised and asked which secret weapon Chen was referring to. Chen took out some black leaves and instructed everyone to look closely, asking them to collect as much as they could. He warned them not to touch the leaves with any open wounds on their hands, as the leaves contained a natural paralyzing drug. The scene then shifted to nighttime, where Chen beat a stone to make a mortar out of it. Meanwhile, Mia brought all the spears they had and asked Chen why he had dug a shallow pit in the stone. Chen responded that it was a mortar, and Mia would soon understand its use. He then asked her to gather all the ladies and use the stone club to crush the leaves in the pit. After crushing them, they were to apply the mixture on the tips of the wooden spears. Lu Ting came and asked Chen about the men, expressing their desire to join in with the club. Chen asked them to stay and rest, explaining that he needed them in the morning for the hunt. The scene then shifted sometime later, where Chen was eating grilled meat and putting salt on it. Suddenly, Mia came and threw a spear towards him, letting him know that the application had been done. Chen stood up and asked the ladies to stay behind to guard the place and their children. He instructed the rest of the people to accompany him to the mountain. Everyone became happy and prepared their weapons, ready to show the monsters what they were capable of. The scene then shifted after some time, where they reached the top of the mountain. Ah Gun asked the others if it was okay for their king to act as bait alone, expressing concern about the danger involved. Stonebone responded that their king was so powerful, so there shouldn't be any danger. Sam asked everyone to get ready as there was movement near the river. Stonebone instructed Mia and the other ladies to make sure they handed out the spears on time, especially making sure Sam didn't run out of spears, as their king was taking a big risk and they couldn't afford to lose him. So, let's see what actually happened. 10 minutes ago, Chen was wandering near the black bulls and thinking that, like last time, escaping to Stone Mountain would be the best way. But being cautious, he decided to lure a small one first. He approached the smaller bull and threw a stone, declaring himself as the leader of the gang and challenging it to come and face him. Hearing this, the black bull became furious, and suddenly, 3 bulls started chasing Chen out of nowhere. While running, Chen asked Stonebone to aim at the first black bull. Stonebone quickly ordered everyone to get ready and then threw the spears all at once. It worked. The black bulls were injured. Taking advantage of the distraction, Sam threw spears aimed at the bulls' necks. They all collided on the mountain, and Chen jumped towards a ledge to get higher, but his hand slipped from the edge. Somehow Stonebone grabbed his hand and saved him. Chen ordered everyone to attack the bulls while they were weakened, so they continued their assault. Stonebone took charge and began commanding the attacks. Chen noticed Stonebone's leadership qualities and realized why Stonebone was so skilled at giving commands. He saw that Stonebone was worth cultivating into a capable leader. Stonebone then came and informed Chen that it seemed the bulls were calming down. Chen was happy to see that the tranquilizer worked faster than he expected. Suddenly, Sam shouted tensely that the other bulls were also charging towards them. Chen was surprised to see that the bulls were faster than he expected. He asked everyone not to panic, reassuring them that everything was going according to his plan. They just needed to deal with the 3 bulls below and ensure they didn't escape. The black bulls were trying to back away, but they were moving very slowly. Seeing this, Chen realized the poison was already working, so he told the others to aim at the bulls' legs and not let them escape. So, Stonebone asked everyone to throw their spears, and with that, all 3 bulls were knocked down and lying on the ground. Chen told them to stop, but Stonebone said that now wasn't the time for Chen to be soft-hearted, as they needed to deal with those 3 bulls before the others arrived. Chen asked how many spears they had left. Mia responded that they had 28 spears. Then Chen asked Sam to check how many bulls were arriving in the herd. Sam responded that there were about 20 bulls. Chen then explained that this was why he asked them to stop, as they had a limited number of spears. Huangshi asked if giving up meant that all their efforts dealing with the 3 black bulls so far would be wasted. Chen responded with a no, explaining that this was just part of the plan. He never intended to face the entire herd with just a few of their squad members. From the beginning, the goal was to take down the bulls' leader. It's all because, after that, the remaining black bulls would just scatter and flee. To lure out the boss, they need some bait, which is why Chen needs those black bulls alive and cannot let them go. Chen also mentioned that his original plan was to use only 1 bull as bait, but dealing with the extra 2 ended up using a considerable number of spears. Suddenly, Sam shouted that he could see the leader of the black bulls, and it looked like a giant monster. The leader of the bulls roared, and all the bulls started running towards the mountain to ram into it. At first, Chen and the others wondered if the bulls had gone mad. But soon, Chen realized that the bull boss didn't intend to fight. Suddenly, they realized that the mountain was starting to collapse. Chen shouted for everyone to hurry back and find cover, but Mia couldn't make it in time and fell to the ground as the mountain crumbled. Seeing this, Chen jumped towards the ground without thinking, asking Agun to come with him. Heiju, Jiao, and Langu Chui also followed, coming down to help. Now it's time for the battle, as they all had to fight no matter what. Heiju Jiao asked Agun what they should do, whether they should go and fight the bulls. Agun responded to not act recklessly and wait for the leader's call. At that moment, Chen was tense, thinking that the bull's boss had already seen through his trap, and he was frustrated by how intelligent the bull was. Stonebone asked the others who were left on the mountain to go and protect their leader, but Chen shouted and asked them to stop, emphasizing that they needed to attack with the spears from above. Now the fight began, with everyone engaging. Chen wielded his axe, while others used spears and stone axes. Through teamwork, defending themselves and attacking the bulls in coordinated strikes, they managed to injure many of the bulls. Taking the opportunity, Stonebone also urged those on the mountain to throw spears at the bulls. Seeing a few bulls knocked down, suddenly all the bulls stopped, and the boss bull said something to them. To Chen's surprise, the bulls started retreating. Seeing this, Chen wondered if the herd had received an order to back off because now the boss himself would join the fight. Out of nowhere, rain started falling, and the bull boss approached, inhaling the air and breathing out flames from his mouth. Seeing this, Chen tensely asked everyone to get aside and dodge the attack. The attack was so powerful that it created a hole in the mountain and even cleared a path to the top. On the other hand, all the tribes were scared to see the attack, wondering whether it was a sound wave or the roar of the bull. The impact was so intense that everyone's morale plummeted in seconds. Realizing this, Chen asked Ah Gun to take Mia and the others northward while he himself would draw the bull boss's attention. He instructed Stonebone to wait for his command and declared to the bull boss that he would be his opponent. The battle started head-on, with Chen attempting to block the bull boss, but the bull boss easily threw Chen aside. Chen then considered using the path created by the bull boss's attack. But the boss bull chased Chen and slammed into the mountain, causing a big blast. Seeing this, others became tense, fearing their leader was lost, but ultimately decided not to retreat and to fight with full determination. Suddenly Chen's axe swung and struck the boss bull's head. Chen was alive, and this happened because he had used the hole created in the mountain a few minutes ago. Chen even thanked the bull boss for sparing his life, though deep down he knew he was heavily injured. Seeing Chen alive, the tribes felt a sense of relief, but Chen shouted at Stonebone to get ready and wait for his command. The fight continued, with Ah Gun and Heiju Jiao attempting to draw the bull boss's attention so Chen could attack from behind. Ah Gun bravely jumped towards the bull boss but was injured by his horn. Chen quickly intervened, attacking the bull boss's face to free Ah Gun from the horn's grasp. The bull boss unleashed another flame attack, but everyone managed to dodge it, and Chen retaliated with a successful strike, creating a wound on the bull boss's body. He then shouted to Stonebone and Sam to throw their spears at the wound. They successfully aimed at the wounds, causing the bull boss to stumble and fall to the ground. Everyone wondered if they had won and started celebrating the victory. However, Chen remained confused because the herd of bulls was still waiting and not attacking, even after their leader had died. Out of nowhere, the bull boss stood up again and attacked Chen, unleashing a furious flamethrower. Stonebone and Huangshu were shocked to see this, and Chen himself was tense because he had let his guard down at that moment. Now the bull boss pulled the spear from his own body and hurled it towards Chen. Chen, injured and unable to move quickly, wondered if this was the end for him. To his shock, Mia stepped in between them and took the spear attack herself. First, Chen was stunned, recalling the moments he had shared with Mia. Suddenly, he felt a surge of furious anger overwhelming him. Despite his system warning of overload, Chen furiously jumped towards the bull. Chen then slashed the bull boss with all his strength from top to bottom. Surprisingly, this time the bull boss was indeed cut in half from Chen's powerful attack. Chen was in full furious mode and shouted at the rest of the bulls to come and fight him, daring whoever wanted to die to face him. As the bulls looked at each other, the moment Chen moved forward, they started retreating and running away. Afterward, Chen felt relieved, but his system indicated his life was in danger. Suddenly, he coughed up blood and began to faint slowly. Everyone rushed to check on him, but before losing consciousness, he looked at Mia and instructed them to retrieve and apply hemostatic ointment. The scene then shifted to several days later, in a pigsty where Chen woke up from unconsciousness. As he opened his eyes, he saw Ah Yu standing in front of him. Chen first asked if it was the pigsty he had set up, but Ah Yu denied it, explaining that they had moved to this place after driving away the bulls, and the shed was built for him. She then asked him to lie down while she went to inform everyone that he had woken up. Chen asked Ah Yu to first tell him about Mia and Lang Gu Chui. Ah Yu responded that when they found Lang Gu Chui, he was on his last breath, but he recovered quickly. After waking up, Lang Gu Chui had been standing outside, guarding Chen ever since. Ah Yu then shared that Mia's injuries were a bit more severe, but thanks to the king's divine medicine, as long as Mia rested more, she would be fine. Everyone else was also doing well. Chen was relieved and happy that everyone was okay. Ah Yu agreed, saying that everyone's health had stabilized over the past 4 days. Hearing this, Chen was shocked and asked, what did she mean by 4 days? Chen checked the system and realized that 4 days had indeed passed, leaving him with only 11 days left to complete the mission. Ah Yu was also confused, noting that their king often seemed lost in thought, staring into the air for reasons unknown. He then tried to stand up but couldn't. Ah Yu asked Chen to rest, but he insisted he was fine and asked her to call Stonebone immediately. She agreed and hurried out of the shed. Chen then realized that without combat or deterrent power, if this secret got out, their mission could fail in an instant. Now that they had moved to a new place, they needed to quickly build a fence around it, and later replace it with wooden walls for better security. Until Stonebone arrived, Chen asked him to listen from outside. Stonebone agreed, and then Chen whispered something to him in a secretive manner that no one else could hear. Stonebone then went to carry out the task Chen had given him. Chen then realized it wasn't enough, as they couldn't afford to make the same mistake as last time. He knew he had to ensure that everything was foolproof this time. Chen then told Lang Gu Chui that he had a task for him. Lang Gu Chui asked Chen to explain. Chen asked Lang Gu Chui to retrieve the bones and hides of the Black Bull King, ensuring the hides were as intact as possible. To Lang Gu Chui's surprise, Chen gave him his own weapon for the task. After they both left, Ah Yu asked Chen to rest, but Chen refused, saying he needed to talk to her. He asked her to come inside where they could speak privately, away from everyone else. When she came inside, Chen explained that he had sent the others away to assign her an important mission. Upon hearing this, Yu responded affirmatively and began to undress. She had misunderstood Chen's intention, thinking he wanted to initiate a romantic encounter. Seeing the misunderstanding, Chen became tense and shouted at Yu to put her clothes back on. Yu felt embarrassed upon realizing her mistake. Chen then clarified that he wanted her to stage a play, as he planned to send someone to negotiate with the Coconut Grove clan. The goal was to persuade the Coconut Grove clan to join and follow Chen's command. Yu tensely asked if Chen thought the Coconut Grove clan, with its larger numbers, would agree to join them. Chen responded that this was precisely why they needed to demonstrate their team's strength and convince the Coconut Grove clan to join immediately. Chen explained 2 reasons for choosing Yu. Firstly, their tribe was led by females, so as a woman, she could communicate more effectively with them. Secondly, only she knew about his current situation, as his all-out attack had caused catastrophic damage to his body. Though the ointment had prevented it from worsening, he still needed a better treatment. Yu smiled and asked if they were planning to scare the Coconut Grove clan with a bluff. She assured Chen that she knew what to do, so he could rest and leave everything to her. The scene then shifted to some time later, where Sam and Yu were heading towards the Coconut Grove clan. Sam told Yu that even though the Coconut Grove clan disliked conflicts, he still believed that they shouldn't provoke them at the present time. She responded that she understood, and they continued on. Upon reaching their destination, Sam showed Yu a fountain where every girl of the Coconut Grove clan was bathing. Then, Sam pointed out the leader of the Coconut Grove clan, the person they were looking for. While they were discussing, they were discovered by some members of the Coconut Grove clan. The scene then shifted to some time later, where Yu and Sam were presented in front of Lisa, the leader of the Coconut Grove clan. The girls told Lisa that they had captured Yu and Sam sneaking around, claiming they had come as envoys to visit the leader of their clan. Sam shouted that they were not mere visitors but ambassadors, a title bestowed upon them by their king. Lisa responded by mocking them, commenting that Yu lived like a slave and the men fed the fish, with the meat serving as dinner for a few days. She then had Sam taken away from Yu. Yu shouted that she had expected the queen of the Coconut Grove clan to be more farsighted, but it seemed she was mistaken. She declared that the mountain of meat they had planned to give would now go to the Bay clan instead. Lisa asked her underlings to wait and let Yu finish speaking. Then Lisa asked Yu if she had said there was a mountain of meat. Yu responded affirmatively, explaining that it referred to a group of large black bulls living near the northern river. Lisa then asked Yu if she wanted to join forces with the Coconut Grove clan to hunt the black bull herd. Yu laughed and told Lisa not to underestimate them, explaining that they had already taken down the black bull herd and that the area near the river already belonged to them. Hearing this, the women of the Coconut Grove clan were stunned and murmured that Yu must be exaggerating, recalling how their clan had almost been trampled by the black bull herd last time. Lisa stood up and asked Yu if she knew the fate of those who lied to her. Yu responded confidently, stating that even the largest of the black bulls had been defeated by their king. She invited Lisa to see for herself if she didn't believe it. When a girl tried to warn Lisa, Yu laughed, dismissing their concerns and jokingly suggesting that if their king wished, he could easily topple the entire Coconut Grove clan. Sam also agreed and shared that they hadn't come to attack. They came bearing gifts and to deliver their king's invitation. He questioned why there was any doubt about their sincerity. Yu then furiously added that if the queen lacked the courage to go herself, she could send someone to retrieve the meat. Seeing Yu like that, Lisa became a bit tense but still warned Yu that they better not be playing any tricks. The scene then shifted to a moment later, where Yu and Sam returned with Lisa and her group. Sam shared that they had returned. Stonebone shouted at Sam not to make a big fuss about it and to go help the others build the houses. Upon hearing this, a girl asked Lisa what the houses were. Yu then informed Chen that the people from the Coconut Grove clan had arrived. Seeing Chen, Lisa became tense and felt a strong killing intent emanating from him. It felt as though she was facing an ancient beast. In reality, Chen had dressed himself as a beast from ancient times. Chen responded to Yu that she had done well. Seeing Chen's intense demeanor and way of speaking, Lisa became tense. Suddenly, they heard a sound coming from the bushes. It turned out to be Mia, Lang Guchui, and Gun hiding inside, as Chen had instructed all the injured people to remain hidden so they wouldn't be visible. Gun shared that he was just curious to see what the queen of the Coconut Grove clan looked like. Chen then expressed his gratitude to Lisa and her clan for accepting his request and making the trip to their land. A girl from the Coconut Grove clan furiously asked where the meat Chen had mentioned was. Chen calmly responded that it was just around the corner and they could take as much as they could carry. When they arrived at the location, they were stunned to see a literal mountain of meat. Heijiejian and Lutung were cutting the meat. A girl from the Coconut Grove clan approached them to take some, but they informed her that the meat was tough. When she tried to cut it from a stick, the stick broke under the pressure. Seeing this, Lutung and Heijiejian started laughing. The The girl shouted and asked what was so funny, stating that they were lucky to catch the bulls during their dispute. Heijujin furiously asked if the girl wanted to fight with them. Suddenly, Chen's axe slammed into the ground, causing the girls from the Coconut Grove clan to become scared and tense. Chen had thrown it to separate them and stop the fighting. Lisa nervously asks, "What kind of weapon is that?" "It's much better than our ironwood branches and bone knives." Chen then tells her to use his Pangu axe to cut some meat for the Coconut Grove clan. Heijujin asks why they are helping the girls when they were the ones who provoked them first. Chen angrily tells him to follow orders. Reluctantly, Heijujin does the task, telling the girls they are lucky. Chen tells Lisa that he will make sure she can take the meat without any trouble, as he always keeps his word, and it's his principle. Lisa nervously asks how he managed to conquer that herd of bulls. Chen responds that it depends on future developments, whether it's mutual understanding or personal experience. He then asks Lisa to call it a day, take the meat, and leave. Lisa says that he seems very cold-hearted. At that moment, Chen was tense and thought that his last throw was a bit too much of a show-off. If it weren't for the bull leather bandage, his wound would probably start bleeding again. Suddenly, it started bleeding a little, and Chen became worried about what to do next. To his relief, Ah Yu distracted Lisa, giving Chen time to hide his bleeding wound. Ah Yu told Lisa that they have some strong weapons that she could give to the Coconut Grove clan, but Lisa turned back and declined, saying that those types of weapons were not suitable for them. She told Chen that they also have some powerful weapons they hadn't shown him and hoped they wouldn't have to use them someday. Lisa then told her clan members to take whatever they could and head back. Ah Yu told them that if it wasn't enough, they could come back, but it would be better to come earlier as the other clans also needed their share. While on the way back, Lisa asked how the investigation was going. Suddenly, some more girls appeared and reported to the queen. It turns out that Lisa had secretly assigned some girls to observe everything while staying hidden. The girl named Maya shared that they found the boys building something called a house, and inside there might be some boars, as they occasionally heard their growls. Upon hearing this, Lisa was stunned and wondered if Chen had actually built such a good dwelling for boars. Maya also shared that what was even more incredible was that Chen's clan had mastered the power of the fire god. Lisa responded that it was impossible. Maya explained that they saw them create fire out of thin air to roast the meat. Maya tried to say something more but hesitated. Lisa urged her to speak up and not hesitate. Maya shared that Chen's clan consisted of just a little over 10 people in total, including a few children and some old men. She also mentioned that she believed Chen's clan intentionally concealed their true population size. Lisa asked Maya why she didn't search more carefully. Maya responded that since the nearby trees had been cut down, they couldn't get close without risking exposure. Therefore, they could only hide in the woods and observe from a distance. Lisa responded with an okay and suddenly started whipping them with a whip. She then warned that if they dared to make excuses again next time, the consequences wouldn't be as simple as a whipping. Maya bowed down and thanked Lisa for not punishing them more severely. The scene shifts to Chen's place where he was relieved and Ah Yu came over to ask about his health. Chen responded that dealing with the herd of bulls had a strong effect on him. Chen noticed that Ah Yu had a talent for eloquence. She then asked if, compared to the queen of the Coconut Grove clan, Chen would prefer her. Chen tensely asked her not to misunderstand anything. Chen then asked Ah Yu to let the guys who were hiding outside come in and assist him in continuing to recover. He also mentioned that he would have Lang Guchui guard the entrance until he fully recovered. Ah Yu responded with an okay and then mentioned that Chen was looking very cool. Upon hearing this, Chen became embarrassed and blushed. Suddenly, Sam arrived and said that Chen was truly amazing because the Coconut Grove clan had indeed set up observation posts around their camp, just as Chen suspected. Chen asked Sam about the other task he had assigned. Sam responded that it was done, explaining that the Coconut Grove clan only saw what Chen wanted them to see and didn't see what they shouldn't. Chen then praised Sam for his hard work. Sam became happy and responded that it was nothing, mentioning that he was now going to help Stonebone and the others build the house. After Sam left to help, Ah Yu asked Chen whether he thought the Coconut Grove clan would truly join their clan voluntarily. Chen responded that it was too early to say, as the plan was only halfway done. He suggested that when the Coconut Grove clan visited again next time, they could proceed with the second half of the plan. Chen then went to rest in his shed and checked his supplies, realizing he only had 11 days left and not enough time to fully recover from his injuries. He asked the system to open the warehouse and found that he only had a packet of salt and 1 tube of hemostatic ointment left for use. Chen's system showed that his axe had been upgraded to the axe of Pangu. Shocked, Chen wondered when his axe had been upgraded. He became even more tense, realizing he had overlooked it when he handed it to Lang Guchui in the morning. He then checked his spears, and the activation condition displayed on the screen was blood sacrifice. Chen thought it must have been activated when he got injured in the battle. From the description, it seemed using creating the world must be timed correctly. It couldn't be too early or too late. He then wondered if any other weapons also had hidden attributes like his axe. However, he soon dismissed the thought because the activation conditions must be different for each weapon. Chen decided to leave it to fate. He then checked the remaining items and saw the hemostatic ointment, but there was only enough left for one use. Chen decided to save it for a critical moment. Otherwise, he could rely on swinging the axe to hunt all the creatures nearby. Chen thought that the meat the Coconut Grove clan had taken would be enough for 2 days, and time was limited, so he had to rely on Sam for now. He asked Lang Gu Chui to call Sam as he had some work for him. After some time, Sam arrived and asked what happened. King. Chen asked Sam if he remembered those black bulls they had driven away, and told him he had 2 days to find them and come back to report. Upon hearing the task, Sam immediately started running to complete it, shouting that he would return very soon after finding the black bulls. Meanwhile, Chen thought that everyone was working hard, so he decided to prepare some gifts for all the clan members. While Sam searched for the remaining black bulls, Chen worked on making the gifts. After 2 days, Chen checked the screen and saw that there were now 9 days left to complete the mission. He also received some technical points for creating a stone spearhead, a bone whistle, and a bullhorn water flask. Chen thought of giving the whistle to Stonebone, making it convenient for him to command during battles or hunting. The stone spearheads could enhance the killing power of a wooden spear, increasing their chances of victory if conflict arose with the Coconut Grove clan. Lastly, the bullhorn water flask would be for Sam. Suddenly, Ayu came and told Chen that there was good news. Their houses were built. Chen asked her to let's go and see the house. When Chen arrived to see the house, Stonebone happily showed him their creations. After which, Stonebone shouted and asked if it wasn't cool, right? Chen didn't like it much, but for the time being, he responded with a yes. Hearing this, everyone became happy because now they didn't have to live in cages or search for branches anymore. Everyone was getting happy, but Chen was still a bit frustrated. Nonetheless, Stonebone went ahead and put the straw door in place, completing everything. The moment they placed the door, Chen received 10 technical points for building the house. As Chen looked around carefully, he realized that the tribe had changed a lot since he arrived. Initially, they had been like wild beasts, surviving on drinking and fur, but now he could see significant changes in their behavior and intelligence becoming more evident. Chen then wondered if all these changes were possible because of the system, which seemed like an accelerated evolution. He then asked them to inform him when Sam would return, and headed back to his shed. Suddenly, Sam arrived shouting that he found them. Chen praised Sam for his work and announced to everyone that they could now finally move on to the second half of the plan. He then asked everyone to follow him and called Stonebone aside, saying he needed to talk to him. After a few minutes, Chen explained something to them and asked if anyone had any questions about the plan. Stonebone tensely asked if the plan would work and expressed concern about its risks. Sam reassured him not to worry, stating that he would handle it, and when the time came, Stonebone would need to lead the others with him. Chen then gave the whistle to Stonebone, explaining that he could now easily command the others. He also told Sam that he had prepared a gift for him, which he would give after the mission. Sam was delighted. Finally, Chen smiled and reminded them all to remember that whenever they received his signal, they had to act accordingly. Huangshi, Sam, Stonebone, and Lu Teng were going to do the work Chen had assigned. Chen wondered that their manpower was really stretched thin, so he had no choice but to assign tasks to those who were injured. So Chen asked Ayu to have Mia and Lang Gu Chui build a larger bonfire in front of the wooden house, but instructed them not to light it yet. Ayu asked if it was for the guests who were about to arrive. Chen responded with a yes and wondered if the bait they had set 2 days ago would work or not. After some time, a girl was working when suddenly she noticed that many people from the Coconut Grove clan were heading towards their clan. So she ran tensely and told Chen that the Coconut Grove clan had arrived. Inside the house, Ayu was taking care of him, and Chen thought it was nice to be taken care of like that. He planned that once he subdued the Coconut Grove clan, he would have both Lisa and Ayu take care of him. Upon hearing about the arrival of the Coconut Grove clan, Ayu went out to welcome them. Ayu asked Lisa to come inside the palace, saying their king was waiting for her. Hearing the word palace, Lisa was stunned and wondered how Chen's clan had managed to transform from a thatched shed to a wooden house. Lisa smiled and asked Ayu if her king was too scared to come out and see them, mentioning that they didn't want to disturb Chen's clan again in the future. She added that they would take more meat this time as compensation. Lisa also mentioned that her subordinates wanted to meet their neighbors, so she brought some of them along and hoped they didn't scare Chen's clan. Ayu laughed and said their king had already instructed them to prepare 40 portions of meat in advance, so Lisa could go ahead and take it. But it seems she didn't bring 40 people. Lisa asked Ayu why she didn't join their Coconut Grove clan if she was concerned about them, offering her to serve alongside her. Ayu responded that she had long been won over by the might of her king, so she thanked Lisa for her kindness, but declined. Ah Yu then showed them the place where the meat was kept and said that if they couldn't take it all, they were welcome to eat as much as they wanted on the spot. She also offered assistance, saying that if the Coconut Grove clan had difficulty cutting the meat, they could ask some warriors from Chen's clan for help. Lisa ordered her subordinates to go and eat peacefully while she went to meet Chen. Upon entering, Chen welcomed Lisa warmly. Lisa blushed upon seeing Chen in the elegant house, finding it very impressive. But she tried to maintain her composure and asked Chen if this was his place, noting that it looked quite decent. Chen wondered if Lisa was quite interested in the house, so he decided to continue impressing her. Chen told her that it was just a temporary makeshift house, and once they built the real palace, this place would be given to the tribes. Lisa was stunned and asked if he would let his tribe live in such a place. Chen responded that he knew it was a bit rudimentary, but he would provide them with better stone houses later on. Suddenly, Lisa took out her whip and tied Chen with it, then quickly moved closer to him. Chen tensely asked what she was doing. Lisa responded that no one understood men better than her, and she had plenty of ways to make him willingly offer those strange things to her. Lisa was wondering if it would be enough to make Chen surrender. Even though Chen found it very stimulating, he maintained a serious expression and laughed, asking if she really thought she could force him to submit like that and if he didn't have any backup plan. But deep down, Chen was feeling despair because he didn't have any backup plan at all. Things were out of control, his injuries hadn't fully healed, making a direct fight already tough, and now the situation was even worse for him. Suddenly, to Chen's relief, Ayu came inside and announced that everything was ready for the feast to begin. However, upon seeing Chen and Lisa in that situation, Ayu was stunned and shouted that Chen shouldn't be doing something like that. Lisa removed her whip, and Chen suggested they had talked enough, so they should go out for a barbecue. He then asked Ayu if she had lit the fire. Meanwhile, Lisa was pondering whether Chen's ability to withstand her coercion and maintain a poker face meant he truly had a backup plan, or if he simply wasn't afraid of death. Compared to the members of her clan, Chen seemed quite different in his demeanor. When they went outside, the girls of the Coconut Grove clan happily asked Lisa to come and check the meat as it smelled really nice after being grilled. Chen also gave some salt to Ayu to distribute among the people of the Coconut Grove clan. Ayu offered the salt to everyone, suggesting they sprinkle it on their food to enhance the flavors. Lisa furiously asked Ayu what she was sprinkling. Ayu responded to Lisa that she didn't need to eat if she was afraid. But seeing her own clan's people praising the food, Lisa understood. Chen was also happy seeing them enjoy, hoping they would eat as much as they could to give Sam and Stonebone more time to complete their task. The scene then shifted to Stonebone and the others, who were near the black bulls. Lutung asked why they needed to hunt the bulls again when they already had enough meat to finish. Stonebone responded that they were not there to hunt the bulls and instructed Lutung to just follow the command. Suddenly, receiving a signal from Huang Shi, they all threw their spears towards the black bulls. As a result, the entire herd starts running. Stonebone shouts to Sam that the bulls are charging towards him. Sam tells them not to worry and jumps from the tree to attack the neck of a bull. After successfully penetrating with his spear, Sam shouts that he has done it, and now the bull is his. Due to the attack, the bull starts running around wildly. Sam tries to gather his courage and not be afraid. He knows he can handle it. From a distance, Huang Shi notices that the herd is heading east. So Stonebone signals Sam, and Sam realizes the direction is wrong. He turns the bull to the right, and the bull then starts rushing towards the west. The scene shifts back to Chen's den, where the girls of the Coconut Grove clan are eating calmly and happily. Meanwhile, Chen is waiting for the signal when suddenly a defender of the Coconut Grove clan comes running towards his den. Lisa notices and asks why she is so flustered and what's going on. The girl, crying, shares that a group of mad black bulls has stormed into their camp, causing havoc everywhere, and their defenders are no match for them. Hearing this, Lisa furiously stands up and tells everyone to get back to the base, vowing to make those crazy bulls pay. But deep down, she was tense, thinking they had always kept their distance from those black bulls. She wondered what had suddenly caused this disaster. On the other side, in the Coconut Grove clan camp, the girls were unable to fight off the black bulls. They tried using slingshots, but it wasn't enough as they didn't hurt the bulls at all. So, they decided to engage in melee combat and rescue their sisters below. But the moment she jumped down, she was attacked by the bulls and was about to be hit again. To their relief, Lisa arrived and tied the bull's leg with her whip. Seeing her, they felt a surge of hope and happiness. Lisa furiously shouts at the crazy bulls, asking how they dare to harm her people. She knocks down one bull, but it isn't enough. The bull stands back up and charges at Lisa, ramming into her. The impact sends her flying through the air, and her whip slips from her hand, but Chen arrives just in time to catch her. He asks Lisa if she is okay. Lisa, feeling defeated, responds that she is fine but is puzzled by how the bulls appeared out of nowhere. Standing nearby, Huang Shi Sam, Lu Tung, and Stonebone were trying to act innocent, hiding their faces here and there because they were the ones responsible for the incident. Chen then angrily stares at the bulls, asking if they have forgotten the pain after their scars have healed. The bulls roar and start moving towards Chen, who becomes tense, wondering if the bull doesn't recognize him. He questions whether his leather cloak made from the hide of the Black Bull King was not intimidating enough. To his relief, the bull begins to retreat. Chen then shouts out that it looks like they have a new king for their herd. He tells the bull boss that he seems much weaker than the last one, and since he's here, he can stay. Without waiting, everyone from Chen's clan attacks the bulls, and Stonebone asks Sam to focus on the bull boss. With Stonebone's assistance, Sam jumps over the bull and begins trying to control it to ride it. Chen noticed that Sam had a talent for riding. As his clan tried to gain control over the bulls, Chen asked Lisa to leave, but she refused, pointing out that the herd had not yet dispersed. Chen stops Lisa from going to fight, telling her that she couldn't handle the monsters and that he hadn't brought enough people, so it would be like walking into death. Lisa falls silent, unsure of how to respond. Chen asks Lisa again why she didn't temporarily bring her people to his place, where they could heal and wait for the right time to reclaim their territory. He assures her that he would provide housing, food, and ensure their safety. Yu also urges Lisa to consider the condition of her people, pointing out that they are not in a state to fight. He asks her if she wants to watch them sacrifice themselves in vain. Finally, Lisa announces that she asks the Coconut Grove clan to help the wounded and retreat to the north, to Chen's place. Upon hearing this, a girl named Yun became furious, but she couldn't disobey the queen's order. She told the injured to follow Chen's people. Chen told Yu that he was giving her the responsibility to take the Coconut clan back to their camp, while he and Stonebone stayed behind to buy them some time. Yu agreed, and they all left. Meanwhile, Stonebone and the others were fighting, but Yun also joined the fight. Seeing this, Stonebone told her to retreat if they were afraid, as they had already defeated the bulls once, so there was no need to rush. But Yun didn't agree and attacked the bulls. Chen also told Stonebone to leave her and focus on defeating the bulls because he believed those girls were very courageous. The scene shifted to the evening, where everyone returned to Chen's camp. A girl named Maya from Chen's side happily welcomed them, saying she was glad everyone was safe. Maya also asked about Chen and the others. Yu shared that Chen and the others stayed behind to buy them time to return with the injured ones. Maya said that the girls from the Coconut Grove clan could stay in the houses they had built. Maya sighed with relief, thinking that if it weren't for Mia and the others working hard despite their injuries to quickly build the houses, they wouldn't have anywhere to put the girls from the Coconut Grove clan. After that, Yu told Lisa that everyone was settled in the houses, and food and safety were guaranteed, so there was no need to worry. She also asked Lisa to rest for the time being. Lisa responded with a thank you. Yu sighed with relief as everything went smoothly and remembered Chen's words. Chen had told her that the focus of the entire plan was to subdue the Coconut Grove clan with minimal cost, since they couldn't afford any more injuries after just finishing a tough battle. Now, only the last step of their plan was left. The scene then shifted to the next day, where Mia asked Heiju Jiao if everything went smoothly last night. Heiju Jiao responded with a yes, saying he had been guarding all night and nothing had happened. Yun was guarding Lisa's house when she suddenly felt it had become cloudy above her. Looking up, she saw it was Mia who had come to greet her. Yun tensely asked Mia what she wanted. Mia said that their king had invited Lisa to his palace because he wanted to discuss something important with her. The scene shifted to Chen, who was checking his system and feeling tense because there were only 8 days left to complete the mission. Someone knocked at the door, and it was Lisa who had come to see him. Lisa shared that Yu had told her about the clan merger, and her answer was no, she couldn't agree to it. Lisa also told Chen not to think he could force her just because their Coconut Grove clan was temporarily weakened. Chen responded that he wasn't forcing her, he was offering a trade. He said he could teach her how to build houses, craft weapons, and make fire, and in exchange, the Coconut Grove clan would need to merge into his tribe. He asked Lisa again to accept his request and stay under his protection. Chen then moved closer to Lisa and said that sometimes things required more than courage. He reminded her that she was more aware of the brutality of the Bay clan and the strength of the Giant Stone clan than he was. He told her that right now, she was like a wounded fawn, and soon the bloodthirsty beasts would follow the scent of her blood and hunt her down. Lisa, frustrated, asked Chen to stop, saying she knew all that, but it wasn't that simple. She explained that she couldn't force the girls of the Coconut Grove clan to accept the rule of a stranger. Unless he defeated them in a duel, only then would the girls accept him. Lisa again asked Chen if he was willing to accept the challenge. Chen smiled and responded with a yes. Coming outside, Chen told the girls of the Coconut Grove clan that since their queen was injured and couldn't participate in the duel, to ensure fairness, he wouldn't participate either. So Chen announced that he would send Stonebone to fight on his behalf. Stonebone laughed and asked who wanted to fight him. Yun stepped forward and said she would accept his challenge. Stonebone smiled and told her to be careful and not get hurt by him. Ah Yun also told him to be careful and not get pecked by her eagle weapon. The fight started, and Ah Yun threw a bone knife toward Stonebone. At first, Stonebone laughed, but then he noticed that Chen was right behind him, and if he dodged the attack, Chen would get hurt. So Stonebone blocked the first knife with his axe, but suddenly a second knife broke through and nicked his helmet. Stonebone was still okay and became furious, charging at Ah Yun aggressively. Ah Yun was in danger when suddenly, a girl from the Coconut Grove clan jumped out of the group and threw another knife at Stonebone's helmet. At the same time, Ah Yun made him fall to the ground. Stonebone shouted that someone ambushed him, and it wasn't a fair duel. As Stonebone fell to the ground, Ah Yun grabbed a knife and jumped toward Chen to attack him. Surprisingly, Chen didn't move an inch to save himself because he had already assigned Huang Shi for that task. Huang Shi was hiding on the rooftop of the palace and threw a spear at Ah Yun to protect Chen. The spear knocked Ah Yun down. Seeing this, all the girls from the Coconut Grove clan ran towards Tina, furious and shouting at Chen. They accused him of playing dirty and conspiring to bring them into his territory. Stonebone and Ah Yu became tense due to the intense situation. The girls asked Lisa to give them the order, claiming they would wipe everyone out. Chen also became tense, realizing he hadn't anticipated an assassination in the plan, wondering if the girls from the Coconut Grove clan were trying to provoke a fight. Chen also wondered whether it was Lisa's command or something happening without her knowledge. If Lisa the queen had ordered it, then he could consider holding her as a hostage. To Chen's surprise, Lisa furiously ordered her clan people to stop. She shouted, asking if they thought their little plot would deceive her, stating that she would never condone treating friends who had helped them in such a despicable way. Lisa shared that she didn't want to investigate who was involved in the assassination plan, but the duel was their loss. She then told Chen that Ah Yun was the Coconut Grove clan's most loyal and brave warrior, and if it weren't for her, Ah Yun wouldn't have abandoned her dignity and pride to do something like that. Lisa then said that she knew Chen had remarkable abilities, capable of summoning miracles. She asked if he could be magnanimous enough to spare Tina's life, then the Coconut Grove clan would forever be grateful. Chen appeared very serious outwardly, but deep down, he was relieved that it wasn't the worst outcome and that the initiative to control the situation was back in his hands. He then thought about the hemostatic ointment and assured Lisa not to worry, saying he wouldn't let Ah Yun die because they were all allies now. A girl asked Chen to hurry up as Ah Yun was fading fast. While going to help, Chen thought that he would overlook Tina's assassination attempts for the greater good, but there still had to be consequences for her actions. So Chen decided to apply only a small amount of medicine to keep Ah Yun alive, but not to bring her back to full health immediately, reserving the rest of the ointment for treating his own injuries. After applying the ointment, he instructed others to carry Ah Yun back to her house, assuring them that she would recover in a few days. Seeing this, the girls of the Coconut Grove clan started praising Chen, believing it to be a miracle. Chen hugged Lisa and asked if her people could now merge into his tribe. Blushing with happiness, Lisa responded with a joyful yes. Chen smiled and told Lisa that she could continue leading her people as long as they obeyed his command. Lisa then shared that she had one final request. Chen needed to become her partner, and they should have a ceremony to formalize their relationship. Hearing this, Chen became happy and blushed, thinking it was like a gift falling into his lap. He imagined they would have a wedding, exchange rings, enter their bridal chamber, have a daughter together, accompany their daughter as she grew up, witness her wedding, grow old together, and finally depart to the afterlife together. Seeing Chen making weird faces, Lisa tensely asked what was wrong, wondering if he didn't want to have the partner ceremony. Chen quickly responded that he definitely wanted it and hugged her tightly. Then Chen asked Lisa to rest and recover properly, as he also needed some time to prepare for the ceremony. He then ordered everyone to go and rest, instructing them to return for the ceremony in a few days. After that, his system showed that he had officially established his tribe and asked him to choose a name. When Chen looked closely, he noticed that the tribe population was only 46, so he wondered why it was 4 less. He named the tribe Newbie Tribe. Chen then pondered that he needed to find a way to deal with the Bei clan and considered taking some Bei clan members as prisoners. However, he wasn't sure if the captured prisoners would count toward the tribe's population. Suddenly, Chen overheard some girls from the Coconut Grove clan talking among themselves. They mentioned how they used to like Chen's smiling appearance, but now he had to be like the men who became partners before and were cut into pieces by the queen at the ceremony, and then devoured. Chen was tense thinking about the queen eating men and wondered if that was the reason why men were scarce in the Coconut Grove clan. Someone came up behind Chen, startling him, causing him to shout and ask them not to harm him. Mia revealed that it was her and asked why Chen was so scared. Chen, still startled, asked her what she wanted. Mia then asked if Chen was really going to become the partner of that rude woman, Lisa. Chen responded that he might need to reconsider his decision and that he had been too hasty in agreeing to the ceremony with Lisa. Mia asked if he was serious. Chen shared that he thought he was getting a bride, but it turned out Lisa was like a praying mantis. Hearing this, Mia started celebrating, but Yu interrupted her, asking why she had sneaked out when she was supposed to be resting. Mia blushed and responded that she wanted to be with Chen. Chen sadly told Mia that he wanted to be alone and suggested that the girls from the Coconut Grove clan could participate in camp construction if they wished. Yu agreed and started to take Mia back. Despite this, Mia continued to ask Chen to think carefully and consider her instead of Lisa. After that, Chen decided to go and chat with Lisa about the situation. The next day, Chen woke up and noticed that everyone was getting along very well, and even the Coconut Grove clan was helping to build the houses. He then went towards the farming area where the temporary residents of the Coconut Grove clan were staying. Upon reaching there, Ayun greeted him and asked if he had come to meet with the queen. If so, Ayun mentioned that the queen was nearby the river. Ayun then informed Lisa that the king had arrived to meet her, prompting Lisa to ask everyone to leave. Once alone, Lisa asked Chen if there was something urgent. Chen responded with a no, saying he had just come to see how her injury was healing. She shared that she would be back to normal in another 2 or 3 days. Lisa then asked if Chen wanted to get a head start on their romance. Chen tensely responded with a no, and then asked for her name. Lisa told Chen that he could call her Lisa, as that was the name given to her by the former queen. However, since her exile, no one had called her by that name. Hearing this, Chen became more tense, realizing it was either comply or face exile. He thought that Lisa might even rename her clan to the Praying Mantis clan. Chen asked Lisa if the former queen had also had a partner, and wondered where they were now. Lisa responded that all of them had been eaten, as it was a tradition in her clan for the queen to consume her partners, which was believed to grant her more power. Chen became more scared upon hearing that, but he was relieved when Lisa said that it was a tradition of previous queens, and she had no intention of continuing it. Chen felt a bit relieved and asked if she had never eaten anyone. Lisa responded that she had recently become queen and never had a partner, so she hadn't had any opportunity to consume anyone. Chen then bid her goodbye as he was leaving to prepare for the ceremony. While Chen was heading back, he thought about how if there was no risk of being eaten, he should consider talking with Mia. Suddenly, Lisa shared that although she didn't eat people, if someone wronged her in the future, she wouldn't hesitate to take severe action. After some time, Chen was moving around in their living areas, observing the people. Then he realized that he only had 7 days left to complete the mission, so he decided to first capture some prisoners and fulfill the mission. So Chen told Stonebone that he would be out for a while. During that time, Stonebone was in charge of organizing everyone's work, and if there was any emergency, he should send someone to find Chen at the beach to the south. The scene then shifted to the beach in the South Sea, where Chen was shocked to see something and wondered how it had happened. He questioned whether the Bay clan had been wiped out. Dodo birds were easily roaming near the corpses, so Chen understood that he was temporarily safe. He then checked the bodies of the Bay clan people and noted that they still had some elasticity, and there was no stench yet, and whatever battle they were involved in must not have ended too long ago. Chen also noticed that the claws on their fingers were exceptionally sharp, and the wounds seemed to match the claws. Chen then wondered whether the water lunatics had been engaged in infighting, making it crucial for him to locate any survivors. There, he found a corpse that had no internal injuries but appeared to have suffered a painful death. While Chen wondered what could have happened to them, suddenly Sam appeared out of nowhere, shouting that a group of Bay clan members were wreaking havoc at their place. Chen tensely ran back towards the base upon hearing this. The scene shifted to the base, where Stonebone instructed everyone to stay close, conserve their strength, and prepare for close combat. They were throwing wooden spears, but the Bay clan lunatics remained completely unharmed by them. The lunatics were closing in, so Stonebone urged everyone not to panic and to do whatever they could, but to prevent the lunatics from dragging anyone into the water. He emphasized that once in the water, they would have no chance against the lunatics. The lunatics charged towards them, but they managed to disrupt their charge by throwing stones at them. Just then, Queen Lisa's reinforcements arrived. Lisa asked Stonebone what was going on and if the enemies were from the Bay clan. She also asked why the Bay clan, who were supposed to be living on the southern edge, had suddenly appeared at their base. Stonebone responded that he didn't know, but the lunatics were behaving erratically, charging suddenly from the South River towards their base. The fight then started between them, with both sides engaging in a fierce battle. Even Lisa fought alongside the newbie clan members. Lisa tried to talk to the Bay clan members, but they didn't reply. She began to suspect that something was seriously wrong with the Bay clan. While Lisa was fighting with a Bay clan member, a larger lunatic attempted to sneak attack her. Chen then attacked with full force, swinging at the lunatic, but the lunatic easily withstood the attack, surprising Chen. 2 Bay clan members tried to sneak attack Chen, but Huang Shi and Lang Guchui intervened, attacking them and knocking them out. They declared that if the Bay clan wanted to attack their king, they would have to fight through them first. Chen praised Huang Shi and Lang Guchui for their actions, and said he would leave those small freaks to them. Chen also asked Lisa if he could entrust her to help his people deal with those small freaks, as he needed to focus entirely on the opponent in front of him. Lisa responded with a yes and joined the fight. Chen also told everyone that he was counting on them until the outcome of his fight was clear. Chen then told the big lunatic that he didn't know what happened to the Bei clan, but it had nothing to do with the newbie clan. He suggested that the lunatics might have mistaken them for their targets. However, without listening, the big lunatic attacked. Seeing this, Chen became tense and shouted, asking if the lunatic had lost the ability to communicate. He was also stunned by the lunatic's explosive power and wondered how, even with his strength and agility exceeding that of an ordinary person by several times, he could handle such an attack. So, he was just a squishy damage dealer in front of the lunatics, and since he was surrounded by his people, he couldn't casually use the hidden skill of his axe. While Chen was deep in thought, he got distracted from the lunatic's attacks, and the lunatic bit his hand. To Chen's relief, he pulled back and was safe, thanks to the protection of the Bull King's cloak. Without it, his left hand might have been torn off by the lunatic's sharp teeth. The lunatic became even more furious and charged at Chen with full force. But Chen dodged the attack, and the lunatic took off Chen's cloak instead. Chen tensely wondered how the lunatic had become so fast. If he hadn't slipped out of the cloak, he would have been dead. Suddenly, Chen noticed that the lunatic stopped attacking. He wondered what was happening and why they had stopped. Out of nowhere, the lunatic started backing off. Chen realized something was strange, as the big lunatic had only ripped off the part of the cloak stained with his blood. He also saw that only Agun was surrounded by many Bei clan members. Chen understood that the Bei clan was using the scent of blood to lock onto targets, and in this strange state, the lunatics were acting purely on primal instinct. Chen thought about how they could use this to their advantage. Just then, Sam returned and asked if there was anything he could do for Chen. Chen asked Sam to take 2 people and bring 3 cubs from the pigsty. Sam, confused, asked why, mentioning that the boars were supposed to be raised for future use. Chen shouted at Sam to do as he said, thinking to himself that the Bei clan was forcing him to sacrifice 3 precious boars, and he would seek revenge for it later. Chen then asked Lisa to get all the injured out of the fight. Just then, Sam returned with the boars. Chen instructed Sam to let the cubs run towards the river. The moment Sam released the boars, they started running towards the river in fear, seeking safety. But Huang Shi was ready with his spears and attacked the cubs. The moment they got hurt, all the lunatics of the Bei clan were attracted towards them and started tearing them apart. While the lunatics were tearing apart the cubs, Chen asked everyone to apply paralysis drug to the spearheads, ensuring they avoided vital parts. To Chen's surprise, Huang Shi shared that the lunatics of the Bei clan were acting strangely again. When Chen looked at them, he was stunned to see the lunatics acting strangely and slowly falling to the ground. Chen angrily asked Sam if he had poisoned those cubs, but Sam denied it. So now Chen became more tense and instructed everyone to stay away from those lunatics and remain on high alert. At that moment, Chen wondered what was going on and why this was happening with the Bei clan. The scene shifted to sometime later at the farmer's area, where every Bei clan member was captured in cages. Ah Yun asked everyone to stay alert in case any movement was made by the Bei clan's people. When the Bei clan's people woke up, they started asking for help. Ah Yun asked a girl to go and inform King Chen. After some time, when Chen arrived and asked about the situation, he saw that every member of the Bei clan was asking for water. Chen first asked Ah Yun where the leader of the Bei clan named Hector was. Ah Yun responded that they had kept Hector separated from the others. When Chen reached Hector's cage, Hector was asking for water, so Chen poured some water from a bottle on him. After that, Chen asked Hector if he could understand his words, to which Hector responded with a yes. Chen then assigned the communication task to Ah Yu. Ah Yu first gave water for Hector to drink, and asked him to drink as much as he wanted. Hector told Chen that his people also needed water and asked Chen to share it with them. Ah Yu reassured Hector not to worry, as they would all be given water, and then asked if Hector was ready to provide some answers. Hector tensely asked why they had attacked their clan just to ask a few questions. He also shared that he had heard about the Giant Stone clan being a group of strange people, but he never expected them to be so bizarre. Ah Yu asked Hector whether he was saying that he had been attacked by the Giant Stone clan. Upon hearing this, Hector was surprised and said that Tor hadn't told him that Chen's clan wasn't the Giant Stone clan. Ah Yu responded that they were a new clan called the Newbie tribe, and their king is Chen. Hector responded that he had never heard of a Newbie tribe, which meant that the Giant Stone clan must have sent them away to a very distant place. Ah Yu clarified to Hector that he was mistaken again. Hector was captured because he attacked their territory, and the Newbie clan had never had any dealings with the Giant Stone clan. It was only the Bei clan's people who attacked them like frenzied beasts. Hector couldn't believe it, saying it couldn't be possible because he didn't remember anything Ah Yu was saying. Ah Yu asked Hector to tell them whatever he remembered. Hector shared that his clan used to live around the South Fish, and they were happily engaged in their internal fights and fun. Suddenly, a child from his clan came to Hector crying, saying that his dodo bird had been taken away. Hector told him to be brave and fight back for his own things, suspecting that it might have been taken by Scaly and the others. But the child denied, saying it had been taken away by those weirdos. When Hector looked, he saw the men were from the Giant Stone clan. Hector furiously asked why they were in his territory, but the leader of the Giant Stone clan, without responding, ordered his clan to attack the Bay clan's people. Hector was shocked that the Giant Stone clan had ambushed them out of nowhere and wondered why. Hector explained that he was knocked out during the fight, and when he woke up, he found himself in a cage captured by the Newbie clan. Chen then told Hector that he had visited his village a while ago, and there was no one left alive. Chen added that if they hadn't chosen to spare the lives of the remaining Bay clan members, the Bay clan would have been extinct by now. Hearing this, Hector became deeply saddened and felt immense pain, realizing he was unable to save any of his people. Suddenly, something fell from Hector's body. Ah Yu picked it up and asked Chen to take a look at it. When Chen looked at the leaf and identified it using the system, he discovered that it was industrial hemp, a herbaceous plant known for its pain-relieving properties and the ability to induce hallucinations when smoked. Upon realizing this, Chen became tense and wondered if it could be the work of the Giant Stone clan. The scene shifted to some time later, with everyone giving water to the Bay clan's people. During this time, Chen had collected leaves from each member of the Bay clan and discovered something unusual about them. Chen then remembered that Sam had once told him the leader of the Giant Stone clan had obtained some kind of divine power. Now, it seemed that this god was more of an evil entity. Chen then thought that it was likely the industrial hemp that caused the Bay clan to turn on each other. He wondered if the Giant Stone clan was behind this, as their frenzied attack on the Newbie tribe territory couldn't have been accidental. If the Giant Stone clan intentionally let the Bay clan's people come here to wreak havoc and leave them worse off or dead, it meant that the Newbie tribe had not only been noticed, but also seen as a threat that needed to be dealt with. Even Hector, with his boundless strength, had become a puppet at the mercy of others, indicating that the power of the Giant Stone clan was not to be underestimated. Chen checked his own stats and realized that 3 points of strength might not be enough, so he needed to level up before the real danger appeared. Ah Yu came to Chen and told him that Hector was on the verge of a mental collapse, expressing her fear that Hector wouldn't be able to provide answers if it happened. Chen responded that they didn't have time to wait for Hector to calm down, as danger could be lurking around them, ready to strike at any moment. Ah Yu asked if he meant that the Giant Stone clan was planning to attack their base. Chen shared that it was difficult to explain, but he believed the Giant Stone clan used the industrial hemp leaves to control the Bay clan's people. He emphasized that they didn't know what would happen next, so they needed to quickly trigger Hector's memories to learn more. So Chen said to Blackstone that he needed to stop blaming himself, as once someone inhales the poisonous smoke from the industrial hemp leaves, no matter how strong they are, it's useless. Chen asked Hector to take a look at the leaf. Upon looking at the leaf, Hector shared that he remembered the smell. He vaguely recalled smelling it when he was fighting those bastards, but at that time, it was mixed with all sorts of strange smells. He just felt it was pungent and unpleasant. Hearing this, Chen became tense and asked whether the Giant Stone clan was using different types of poisonous plants. He guessed that they would need to figure out the effects of those poisonous herbs before planning any counterattacks. Hector asked if King Chen was going to deal with the Giant Stone clan, suggesting that the Bay clan people should also join him. He expressed that if he didn't avenge his brethren, he would regret it for the rest of his life. Other members of the Bay clan shouted that they also wanted to take revenge for their fallen comrades, and they were willing to do anything as long as they could achieve that revenge. Chen thought that although he still needed more people to complete the main quest, they were only 4 people short. Chen's thoughts were interrupted by Hector, who mentioned that their noses were very sensitive. He offered their help to Chen, saying they could distinguish and track those poisonous herbs, which would definitely aid Chen. Chen responded that this was exactly why he was worried. Despite their ability to track herbs, their sensitivity to the smell of blood meant that if the Bay clan's people lost control again, the consequences would be unimaginable. Hector shouted that if it weren't for that poison smoke, they could easily control themselves. Chen responded by acknowledging that their enemies were the Giant Stone clan, and raised the concern about what would happen if the Giant Stone clan released the poison smoke again during their battle. Hector sadly responded that if that happened, they would refuse to fight. Chen told Hector that he understood his desire for revenge, but emphasized that acting out of anger and hatred would not resolve anything. He expressed concern that Tor might not agree with his plan, if he had one. Hector responded that they were the last remaining members of the Bay clan, and as long as Chen could help them get revenge, their lives belonged to Chen. Chen told Hector that as long as Hector assimilated into his tribe and pledged loyalty to the Newbie clan, he guaranteed that they would take revenge. However, Chen clarified that not all members of the Bay clan would have the opportunity to personally take revenge. Chen asked Hector again what he thought about the arrangement. Hector and every member of the Bei clan started shouting that they were ready for it. As Chen started to leave, Hector called out to him. Chen understood and instructed Ah Yu and Ah Yun to release the people of the Bei clan from their cages, as they were companions after all. After doing so, Chen's system indicated that he had completed the tribe mission and received the quest reward. As a reward, Chen received 3 attribute points, a large material chest, and a heritage plaque. Since Chen had completed the quest within 7 days, he also received an extra reward of a surprise gift package. Chen felt relieved that he had finally completed the quest and decided to allocate all the attribute points into strength. After allocating the attribute points to strength, Chen suddenly felt an enormous increase in power, sensing the energy surging within him. When the transformation completed, he noticed that his hair had grown longer, and he wondered if it was a side effect of the power boost. He then decided to check the rewards. In the large material chest, he obtained 1 ton of hematite. Upon seeing this, he felt happy because it would help him skip the Bronze Age and advance straight to the Iron Age. After that, Chen opened the surprise gift package, hoping for something exciting. When the package opened, he was delighted to find 3 jars of hemostatic ointment. Chen was amazed that the prize was much better than last time. Chen then instructed the system to retrieve the heritage plaque. On the heritage plaque, it showed that he had obtained a civilization product, but it required 10 technology points to unlock. Without hesitation, he allocated the required technology points to identify the product. Identification completed, and Chen received a plaque of Sense of Modesty. Chen realized that this could be a crucial step in the development of civilization. He felt happy knowing that now he wouldn't have to worry about mixed-gender baths anymore, as he didn't want anyone to see Lisa bathing. Now, Chen had to think about how to deal with the threat of the giant stone clan. Suddenly, Ah Yu arrived but was shocked to see Chen's new avatar, as he had become taller and more muscular. Chen responded affirmatively and asked Ah Yu what she needed from him. In response, Ah Yu asked if Chen wanted her to go and negotiate with the giant stone clan to clear up any misunderstandings. Chen explained that there was no misunderstanding. The giant stone clan had decided to wipe them out. He described them as the most troublesome opponent the newbie clan had ever faced, capable of using tactics like pitting enemies against each other while they benefited from the chaos. Ah Yu tensely asked what their clan should do now, expressing her fear. Chen responded that for now, their best course of action was to build their defenses, stockpile food, and avoid provoking the giant stone clan until their clan was fully prepared. In other words, their clan had to conceal their capabilities and bide their time. Ah Yu then asked how they should arrange the 22 new people who had just joined. Chen instructed her to divide the Bei clan's people into 3 groups, each tasked with building houses, gathering food, and making traps. Hearing about traps, Ah Yu got confused and asked what they were and why they needed to build them. Chen explained simply that traps could be used to protect their territory. He added that by setting traps, they could catch live enemies or wild beasts, enhancing their defensive capabilities. He then told Ah Yu that he had an urgent task for her. With the sudden increase in their population, they needed to consider long-term food supply issues, and they couldn't afford to waste uneaten meat. He decided that they should start by teaching everyone how to make meat jerky. When Stonebone arrived and expressed surprise at Chen's increased height and muscularity, Chen asked him not to pay attention to it, and instead focused on the task he had for him. Chen then instructed Stonebone that he needed him to set up traps in the surrounding mountains, emphasizing that the denser the placement, the better. He mentioned he had already selected some people to assist Stonebone, and he would personally teach him how to make the initial trap. However, Chen stressed to Stonebone that the most crucial task was not just learning to make the traps, but remembering the locations of these traps. Hearing all that, Stonebone became tense and expressed that the task didn't seem exciting at all. Chen lightly tapped Stonebone's helmet and told him that entrusting him with remembering the location of every trap was a sign of his trust in him, so it needed to be kept an absolute secret. He also told Stonebone that only he and Stonebone would be involved in this task. No third person was allowed. Chen instructed Stonebone to ensure that each person rotated through different areas to set the traps and not to let anyone know all the trap locations in a specific area. Otherwise, if there were to be a traitor among them, the consequences would be unthinkable. Chen then asked Stonebone to report all the trap locations once they were set. He even erased the drawings he used to explain to Stonebone and instructed him not to draw anything anywhere, but to remember the trap locations in his head. Stonebone responded that he thought it was a bit difficult, but he would definitely live up to the trust Chen had placed in him. Chen praised Stonebone for his commitment and asked him to go and rest, as they would begin their work under the cover of night. Chen put the Sense of Modesty plaque in front of his house so everyone could see it as they passed by and learn from it in their own way. He then told Lang Gu Chui that he was going to rest for a bit. Stonebone and the others would find him at night, but if anything urgent came up, Lang Gu Chui could wake him. Inside the house, Chen lay on the bed and wondered how much time they had. There was so much to do, like training soldiers in different units, building defense structures, arranging patrol teams, discovering new technology, and expanding their territory. It seemed like never-ending work to Chen. But he decided to cherish this rare moment of rest, and went to sleep. When Chen woke up, he found himself in a bar where some beautiful girls were having drinks. Chen asked them to introduce themselves. The girls said their names were Xiaoya, Lily, and T-Dan. Chen was very happy and shared that he had drunk too much but was glad to be back, no longer having to endure anxious days living in the wild. Chen enjoyed their company, and after some time, Xiaoya was lying beside him, telling him it was time to get up and work. He responded that he really can't do it anymore, Xiaoya. He then heard her say she wasn't Xiaoya. Chen tried guessing other names, but each one was denied. Finally, she said she was Stonebone. At that moment, Chen opened his eyes, stunned, and shouted in fear. It turned out that it was all just a dream. Chen furiously asked Stonebone why he was in his room. Stonebone responded that Chen had told him to come and find him at night. But when he arrived, Chen grabbed him and started flirting. Chen was stunned upon hearing this. But Lang Guchui interrupted, saying it was all a misunderstanding and they should leave for work. The scene then shifted to some time later, where Chen was showing everyone how to make a trap. He demonstrated by creating a spike trap as an example for everyone. He explained that since the enemies and monsters they were facing were quite large, the traps needed to be deep and wide enough to be effective. Chen then demonstrated how to hide the traps with leaves in a specific manner. Chen reiterated that the spike traps could be combined with the tripwire traps he had shown them earlier, emphasizing the importance of mixing and matching trap types. He also mentioned that Huang Shi could teach everyone how to make other types of traps. Hearing this, Huang Shi got confused and admitted he didn't know how to make any traps. Chen then asked Huang Shi if he remembered the moving target used for spear practice, suggesting it could be perfect for a trap if they replaced the log with a net and added a triggering mechanism. Chen left the work to Stonebone and the others and headed back, hoping he could continue the dream he had just woken from. As he returned to the territory, he was surprised to see that no one was walking around. Normally, by that time, someone would have woken up and started working. Chen went to check in their houses, but when he tried to enter, the girls inside started shouting for whoever it was to go away. When Chen asked what was wrong, they became serious, and some of their clothes were not fully on, making them hesitant to come out. Hearing this, Chen wondered if it was the effect of the heritage plaque's sense of modesty. He closed the door and told them they had half a day to make new clothes. If they weren't out by noon, he warned them not to blame him for being strict. Chen went near the plaque and was amazed by its effect. Suddenly, Stonebone came shouting his name. When Chen turned around, Stonebone shared that he had found something while digging traps. Chen was delighted and told Stonebone that what he had found was flint. A brilliant discovery. He explained that with flint, they had limitless possibilities, especially because it could produce sparks when rubbed together forcefully. Chen and Stonebone ran back to the place where Stonebone had found the flint. Upon reaching there, Stonebone showed Chen the spot and mentioned they had dug around that stone. When Chen saw it, he realized there wasn't enough flint. Since it wasn't a dry, arid, saline alkali land, if the flint was naturally formed, there was only one possibility. Chen asked Stonebone to take a closer look at what was inside the soil. Stonebone agreed, and mentioned that the soil in that area was easier to dig, and there appeared to be some things inside that didn't quite look like stones. When Stonebone tasted it, he got freaked out because it was dung, and he felt very bad after eating it. On the other hand, Chen already suspected that there was probably a fairly large dung pit underneath. He felt puzzled, wondering if it could be possible that another primitive people had lived there and reached a cultural level where they had something akin to toilets. Or could it have been the old lair of the giant stone clan? Chen ordered Stonebone to collect the flint, bury the places again without leaving any traces behind. He also instructed to set up a few more traps nearby and to build beacon towers in high places. Additionally, Chen wanted some people to be on lookout in shifts. Hearing this, Stonebone shouted in confusion, asking about towers and beacons, wondering what Chen had said. The scene then shifted to 4 days later, where Chen wandered through the territory, observing the many houses that had been built. He reflected that this was the first step towards happiness. Suddenly, Mia ran towards Chen, startling him. He quickly asked Lang Guchui to help him stop her. Despite their efforts, Mia reached Chen with full force and hugged him tightly, accidentally breaking a house in the process. Lang Guchui asked Chen tensely if he was okay and urged Mia to get off him. Seeing Chen injured, Mia squeezed him again, pleading for him to stay alive since they had just built houses and couldn't afford to die now. Chen responded that playtime was over and asked Mia if she said the houses were ready. Mia responded affirmatively, saying there were 2 rows of houses, totaling 10, which could comfortably accommodate 50 people. Hearing this, Chen was pleased and patted Mia on the head, praising her efforts. Chen also asked Mia not to be reckless anymore and assigned her the task of repairing the broken house as a punishment. Then, he went to check on the progress of the food supplies and reserves. Upon reaching the riverside, Chen saw that the Bei clan people were happily catching fish, and Ah Yu, along with some girls, were helping them dry the fish. Chen shared that compared to building houses and digging traps, the Bei clan were indeed more suitable for going into the river to fish. With the Bei clan's help, their new tribe had noticeably increased the variety and quantity of food available. Lang Guchui praised Chen for all the progress they had made, which allowed them to live such a prosperous life. Chen responded that it might be possible, but he still wondered if the methods he used to subdue the Coconut Grove clan were proper, and what kind of deceit he might resort to in the future. Lang Guchui reassured Chen not to doubt his decisions, emphasizing that Chen's orders were their will. He expressed that he saw no problem with what they had done, pointing out that in the world, only the strong survive, and large and small groups were constantly devouring and destroying each other every day. So obtaining maximum results with minimal losses is actually kindness to both them and the Coconut Grove clan, Chen said with a smile. He then told Lang Guchui that he already possessed the most important qualities needed for their journey. Chen then asked Lang Guchui to accompany him to inspect the results of the border defenses, expressing his belief that the Bei tribe could still bring more surprises, like the mysterious Frogman force. The scene shifted to Stonebone and the others working on the traps and towers. When Chen arrived, he asked Stonebone how the traps and beacon towers were arranged. Stonebone responded that according to Chen's orders, the beacon towers in the west, south, and north had all been completed. After arranging for 6 people to be stationed at the beacon towers in shifts, there weren't many people left. Stonebone explained that in order to finish on time, they had to leave early and start working on the mountain before dark. Chen understood they were short on manpower and decided that from that day onward, he and Lang Guchui would go up the mountain to help Stonebone. Stonebone asked Chen not to worry, saying they could handle it, but Chen responded that it was a critical time for them, so they needed to make every second count. Chen was wondering if the Giant Stone clan had indeed lived nearby before. They might be more familiar with the terrain than his clan was. He worried that if the Giant Stone clan took advantage of their unpreparedness, they could launch another, even larger surprise attack. In the night, while everyone was working and Chen was there as well, he suddenly looked towards the West Beacon Tower and felt an ominous sensation. He wondered why he was feeling this way, perhaps just overthinking it. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Chen heard screams coming from the South Beacon Tower. He was surprised and quickly looked in that direction, where he saw signals for help. Chen furiously shouted to everyone that the South Beacon Tower was under attack and urged them to move quickly. Chen ran towards the south, his mind racing as he thought about how, despite knowing the trap locations and having an agility bonus from 2 points, it still took at least 5 minutes to reach the South Mountain. He hoped that nothing would happen during those crucial 5 minutes. At the South Tower, Huang Shi was patrolling when he noticed triggered traps very close to the tribe. He wondered how the enemies had managed to infiltrate so far. Huang Shi also considered the possibility of other enemies nearby who might have seen the firelight and were ambushing towards it. He decided it was best to find these enemies first and launch an attack. Huang Shi ran towards the source of the noises and attacked with his spear, but the enemy proved formidable, deflecting the spear and forcing Huang Shi to dodge. To his surprise, the enemy quickly closed in to attack him, leaving Huang Shi with little time to react, causing him to shield himself in fear. To Huang Shi's relief, the enemy stopped the attack and revealed himself to be Chen. Surprised, Huang Shi asked why Chen was at the southern side. Chen responded urgently, saying there was no time to explain, and asked if Huang Shi knew where the traps had been triggered. Huang responded affirmatively and described the location where the traps had been triggered, mentioning he was the one who lit the beacon tower. Chen quickly instructed Huang Shi to wait for those taking the safe route and bring them to that location after him. When Chen reached the location of the triggered traps, he didn't sense any other people nearby. The silence was eerie, suggesting they hadn't caught a wild beast. The fact that the trapped person wasn't calling for help made Chen wonder if they were truly alone or had lost consciousness. When Chen went to look at the trapped person, he was surprised to see that it was none other than Lisa. He asked her what she was doing there, as she was supposed to be recovering from her injuries. Lisa became furious and asked Chen why he was just standing there asking questions. Chen smiled and teased her playfully by tickling her feet. Lisa, feeling frustrated, asked Chen to help her down from where she was trapped. Suddenly, they both heard Huang Shi and the others approaching. Lisa furiously shouted at Chen, telling him that if anyone saw her like that, she swore she would make sure they kept quiet about it. Chen became tense and asked Lisa to wait while he dealt with the approaching group. He shouted for everyone to stay back and not come any closer, warning them that the situation was very dangerous and they could die if they approached. Hearing this, Stonebone looked confused and wondered if Chen had fallen into an ambush. He questioned whether they should rush in to rescue Chen. Huang responded that he didn't think so because from Chen's demeanor, it seemed like he hadn't been affected negatively. Huang also speculated that Chen might not want them to see something specific, Stonebone pointed out that he thought Chen was taking a break after the battle, noting that even the women avoided them when bathing and everything seemed a bit different, though he couldn't quite pinpoint why. Here, Chen freed Lisa from the trap and laughed, teasing her that he didn't expect her of all people to fall into the trap, but at least now they knew how the traps worked. Lisa chuckled and commented that she didn't expect him to know so many strange tricks. Chen then asked Lisa what had brought her there in the middle of the night. Lisa shared that she had overheard some conversations among the Bay tribe in the evening. Lisa explained that she overheard two people from the Bay clan talking about how they wished they could catch fish, shrimp, or clams by the seaside to boost their energy for work. However, they mentioned that the way to the beach was blocked by a ferocious pack of hyenas, making it too risky to go fishing when there was a chance of being attacked. The scene shifts to the present, where Lisa explains that she decided to come and find a safer way during the night. Chen shares that he had walked that path many times, and there were no hyenas there 5 days ago. He suspects that someone from the Bay clan might have sneaked out in the past few days, causing the hyenas to move into the area. Lisa asked if something was wrong with the Bay clan and suggested executing them. Chen responded with a no, clarifying that he wasn't suggesting that. He explained that he was thinking about the security loopholes they hadn't noticed before. Chen proposed setting up patrols and emphasized the importance of clearing the way to the beach for safety. Chen added that while fish and shrimp were secondary, they definitely needed dodo birds and their eggs. He suggested they could also open a salt field for salt drying. Chen then declared that it was decided. After daybreak, they would deal with the troublesome hyenas. Lisa shared that she could handle setting up patrols and secret sentries, but she suggested Chen reconsider dealing with the hyenas and expanding the territory. Chen smiled and asked if she was worried about him. Lisa got embarrassed and asked Chen not to flatter himself. She expressed her concern that with their small numbers, spreading out to guard 2 territories might be reckless. She also pointed out that the beach had already been attacked by the Giant Stone clan once. What if they were to attack again? Chen responded that precisely because the Giant Stone clan had already been to the beach, it made it relatively safe. He explained that their tribe's camp, the beach outpost, and the Giant Stone clan on the southwest mountain formed a triangle. Chen proposed that as long as they ensured a smooth exchange of goods and information between the beach outpost and the tribal camp, they could support each other effectively. Lisa admitted she didn't fully understand what Chen was talking about, but since he had made a decision, she agreed to go along with it. The scene then shifted to some time later, where Hector, Chen, Lang Guchui, and members of the Bay clan were heading towards the location where the kid had seen the hyenas. Hector asked the kid if he was sure he encountered the hyena on that path, noting there was no smell of blood. The kid affirmed that he had seen the hyenas around 2 days ago. As the kid moved ahead, he was suddenly attacked by a hyena. But Hector swiftly counterattacked and saved the kid from the hyena's attack. However, they soon found themselves surrounded by a group of hyenas from all sides. Lang Guchui cautioned Chen to be careful, but Chen smiled and reassured them that with the Bay clan as their allies, these wild dogs wouldn't pose a threat. At that moment, Hector suggested to Chen that he could take the group on the left, while leaving the right side to him. The fighting commenced, and the Bay clan easily engaged with the hyenas. Chen thought it was a good opportunity for him to observe what the new recruits could do. Suddenly, a hyena tried to attack Chen, but he easily blocked it by grabbing the hyena's neck. After a few minutes, everyone managed to defeat the hyenas. Hector expressed that it wasn't satisfying enough for him. Chen asked Hector to let it go and urged everyone to move forward. Moving further, Hector shared that it was their former territory. Upon reaching the location, Chen asked everyone to observe the cliff, explaining that it would be where they would build the outpost. He specified that it needed to be close to the cliff and spacious enough to house 20 people, with the beacon tower constructed above it. Chen also mentioned that after building the beacon tower, they needed to construct a small salt evaporation field next to the outpost. He told Hector that he would send some people to help him, but emphasized that Hector had only 4 days to complete everything. At that moment, Chen felt like a foreman inspecting a construction site, despite being the one doing the laborious tasks. Before leaving the area, Chen instructed them to immediately light a fire for help in case of an emergency. The scene then shifted to 3 days later, where Chen had crafted a wooden bow, earning him 5 technology points. At that moment, Ayu informed everyone that Sam had returned and had something to report. Chen went to Sam and asked if he had found any human tribes to ally with or conquer to the north. Sam responded that he had traveled north for more than a day, but saw no sign of anyone. He only found a lake and a snow-capped mountain not far away, and there seemed to be a strange creature living in the water. Sam added that before he could see the creature clearly, it sank to the bottom of the lake and disappeared. Since the snow-capped mountain lay further ahead, he didn't dare to proceed and decided to return. Chen laughed and responded to Sam, saying it was okay and that he had done a great job. He joked that he never expected Sam to fear the snow mountains more than the monster in the water. Trembling, Sam said that the snow mountains were too terrifying and asked Chen if he hadn't heard the stories about them. Chen asked what was so terrifying, but suddenly Yu hugged him, saying she was scared. Chen asked Yu why she was so frightened of the snow mountains. Yu responded that the terrifying part wasn't the snow mountains themselves, but what lurked behind them. A giant. Chen told Yu not to worry because he was there, so there was no need to be afraid of anything. Suddenly, Chen's system showed that he had a new quest where he had to find the giant, and he would get 1 attribute point for it. Chen was stunned when he saw this and wondered why he would get 1 attribute point just for seeing a giant. After all, he had to risk his life and drive away a saber-tooth to earn 2 points before. He then thought that the giant might just be a big fellow, and looking from afar shouldn't be very dangerous, right? But on the other hand, if the giants had a civilization, maybe they could even turn the giants into their allies. Still, he needed to be cautious because if things went wrong, it could lead to the tribe's destruction. However, the exploration and diplomatic tasks couldn't be left to Sam and Yu. Chen asked Sam to go and rest since the banquet would be in 2 days, so he could relax and enjoy. Sam thanked Chen and was relieved that he got a break and didn't have to face the giant. Yu also asked Chen to remember that Sam gets nervous in certain situations. Chen responded that it might not just be nervousness. Sam's perception of danger far exceeds that of everyone else, making him sensitive to certain things. That's why Sam can explore the outside world freely while keeping himself safe. Chen then asked Yu about the preparations for the partner ceremony. Yu responded that everything was ready. Chen then asked Yu to prepare travel necessities for 4 people, as he was planning to take a few people with him on a little expedition. Hearing this, Yu tensely asked if Chen going personally meant the task was very dangerous. Chen responded that he was just going to explore the nearby areas and that there was no need to worry. He asked Yu to prepare some food, water bottles, and warm clothes. He also asked Yu to thank Skinny for doing a good job on making the clothes. Yu then asked when he was going to leave for the trip. Chen shared that since the partner ceremony was in 2 days, he would depart after the banquet ended. The scene then shifted to 2 days later, where Chen had prepared a shield for himself. He explained that because it was made of hardwood and cowhide, the shield was very light. He added that everyone could now replace their equipment as soon as possible. At that moment, Yu came in and told Chen that it was time for him to wear the royal dress. When Chen stepped outside wearing it, everyone congratulated him and started celebrating. At that moment, Chen wondered if the partner ceremony was just a wedding. In his old life, he had struggled just to make a living, but now he had his own tribe, his own people, and a wife. Although it felt like a dream come true, in the present world, he felt a strong sense of belonging. Chen approached Lisa and shared that in the future, when he wasn't around, the fate of the newbie tribe would rest in her hands. He announced to everyone in the tribe that from that moment on, Lisa was the queen of the newbie tribe clan. Everyone praised their queen and king, and the atmosphere became very emotional. Mia even cried, expressing that while she didn't want anyone else to take the king's place, the scene was truly touching for her. After the festivities ended and night fell, everyone bid Chen good night as they went to sleep. Chen felt relieved that nothing bad had happened on the ceremony day. Yu approached Chen with a smile and informed him that Queen Lisa was waiting for him in the palace, suggesting that he should go to her. At first, Chen blushed upon hearing that Lisa was waiting for him, but then he became tense, recalling that her love language involved using a whip. Nevertheless, he headed towards the palace, intrigued by the possibility of something exciting awaiting him. With courage, Chen opened the door and told Lisa that he had returned home. However, upon seeing her angry expression and feeling the tense atmosphere, Chen became nervous and wondered if it felt like someone was about to die. Lisa then told Chen that she would give him a chance to explain himself. Tensely, Chen asked what she wanted him to say. Lisa stood up, took out the whip, and asked if he was still going to pretend. Chen, now scared, tensely asked if Lisa could please be more gentle as it was their wedding night. Deep down, he regretted upgrading Lisa's whip. Lisa then asked if he was in such a hurry to leave her by going on a journey just after the ceremony. Hearing this, Chen felt a little relieved and asked Lisa to relax and let him explain everything. He then shared his entire plan, and Lisa asked to confirm whether his plan was to convince the giants to join them against the Giant Stone clan. Chen responded that he wasn't entirely sure about convincing the giants and wanted to bring 3 more people with him for safety. He emphasized that the true purpose of the trip must be kept secret. Chen also expressed confusion about why Sam and Yu seemed fearful of the giants. Upon hearing this, Lisa asked if it wouldn't be better for her to go with him. Chen responded with a no, explaining that one of them needed to stay with the tribe, and besides, she had more important things to attend to. Lisa asked what those things were. Chen took out a stone sling and told Lisa that he would demonstrate how to use it later. He explained that he needed her to train a stone sling team by the time he came back. The scene then shifted to the next morning, where Chen was heading towards the giant place with Huang Shi, Hector, and Tina. He was singing peacefully, but Ai Yun was furiously looking at him. Seeing this, Chen became scared and wondered if Ah Yun was purposely walking behind him, possibly trying to find another opportunity to ambush him. But Chen couldn't do anything because it was Lisa's wish. What actually happened last night was that Chen tried to flirt with Lisa, but she shouted at him, asking him not to tease her. She then asked why he didn't choose people from the Coconut Grove clan or Bay clan since he wanted to take 3 people with him. Chen responded that he planned to bring Hector because he had personally witnessed Hector's combat prowess. The beach outpost would be temporarily under the responsibility of Stonebone. Lisa insisted that she didn't care whom he chose, but insisted that she must go with him. She explained that only when Ayun was with him could she feel at ease. Lisa then approached Chen and reassured him that she had already taught Ayun a severe lesson for the last incident, so he could rest assured. The scene shifted to the present time, where Chen was still furious, unable to be at ease with Ayun walking behind him. Chen now relied heavily on Huang Shi, believing that if something went wrong, only Huang Shi could save him. Huang Shi mentioned that he felt like someone was staring at them, but then dismissed it, saying it might just be his imagination. Hector then asked Chen if he knew there was a lake ahead. Chen responded affirmatively, mentioning that Sam had mentioned it before. Hector started laughing, suggesting that Sam must have also seen the giant because when Hector was a child, he saw it swallow a leopard whole in the blink of an eye. Hector then shared that he had been lucky in childhood, but this time he hoped for a better fight with the lake monster. Chen was stunned, thinking that encountering such a monster wasn't lucky at all. He responded to Hector that monsters like the lake creature didn't concern him much. He would be more interested if they encountered something more formidable, like giants. Hearing this, Huang Shi got scared and tensely asked Chen not to expect such things. Chen responded that he was speaking casually and asked if there really were giants. Huang Shi then shared that before meeting the king, their tribe had originally consisted of over 30 people. One day, they encountered a giant, and the clan was powerless to resist, scattering in all directions. Huang Shi also mentioned that even though it happened when he was very young, no one who survived could forget that terrifying scene. Chen now understood why Sam and Yu were so scared and trembled at the mention of giants. Hector interrupted their conversation and warned them not to eat any of those fruits, recalling that he had eaten them when he was young and suffered severe consequences. Chen inspected the fruits with his system and found that they were poisonous plants. Chen thought that all the unfamiliar plants around him might hold some value. He asked his system to scan and identify them, and discovered that every plant had significant medicinal properties. Chen was amazed to find that the whole forest was filled with medicinal plants. Suddenly, he spotted something familiar and upon inspection, identified it as a cereal grass. He was happy to have found grain seeds and received a side quest to plant multiple types of grains in large quantities and successfully cultivate them within a 180-day time limit. Chen then thought that it looked like they could finally enter the era of farming, and once they found clay, they could cook, make herbal medicine, and more. Since the cereal wasn't mature yet, he decided to come back later to harvest it. At that moment, Chen began to feel a strange sensation. But it wasn't Tina's hostility. Huang Shi pointed out something, and Chen looked at it seriously, expecting danger. However, he discovered a leaf with strong fibers that could be used to make ropes, fabrics, or paper. He praised Huang Shi for finding something valuable, thinking it would lead to better clothes. However, Huang Shi clarified that he wasn't referring to the strange grass, but to the sound coming from behind the bushes. When Chen looked over, he was surprised to see a hyena emerging from behind the bush. Chen then speculated that the hyenas must have been following them since the beginning, and the eyes they had felt before were likely from these hyenas. Realizing that the hyenas might be seeking revenge for their previous encounter, Chen asked everyone not to leave them be and suggested they take action to eliminate the threat. The fight started, and Hector was furious, determined to take down the hyenas this time. However, Ayun found herself in danger as 2 or 3 hyenas attacked her. Hector quickly and effortlessly came to her rescue, telling her not to thank him as it was his duty. Suddenly, the hyenas began to retreat. Hector laughed, remarking that it was a shame the hyenas were running. However, Chen shouted, urging them not to let the hyenas escape, as he didn't want to continue being ambushed repeatedly. They started chasing the hyenas, but Chen quickly realized that even with his agility boosted by 2 points, he could barely keep up with their pace, making it impractical to continue the pursuit. Suddenly, Chen felt an eerie quietness behind him. When he turned around, he was shocked to see Ayun captured by an unknown type of plant monster. Chen wondered what it was, and upon investigating, he discovered it was a Crimson King flower, a large herbaceous plant that secreted corrosive mucus from its center and actively preyed on nearby animals for consumption. Chen was shocked to realize it was a man-eating flower. He felt tense, realizing that first there were saber-toothed tigers, then giants, and now a man-eating plant. They were straying further and further from his understanding of the primitive age. Ayun tried to use her bone knife, but it slipped from her grasp, falling into the flower's mouth where it dissolved instantly. Everyone was shocked at this sight. Chen shouted and urgently asked Huangshi and Hector why they were standing around and told them to go and save Tina. Huangshi responded that they were not refusing to help. They too had been ensnared by the strange creature. Chen quickly began cutting through the vines of the flower, urging Yun to hold on until he could reach her. Yun shouted and asked Chen to forget about her, urging him to go and save Hector and Huangshi and escape. Before Chen could reach her, she was engulfed by the man-eating flower. Chen was now filled with fury but resolved to at least save Hector and Huangshi. To his surprise, hyenas also attacked from the rear. Hector played a crucial role by throwing something at the hyenas to knock them back. He shouted to Chen not to come closer, warning that it was a trap set by the hyenas. Huang also told Chen to run, reassuring him that he could make it alone and they would try to stall the hyenas for as long as possible. Meanwhile, Chen continued to struggle against the vines, noticing that they weren't fast but that the hyenas were taking advantage of his distraction. Suddenly, he realized they were near dead trees. Taking a gamble, Chen took out some flint and struck it against the trees, igniting them. He knew that there was no creature that couldn't be dealt with a good oil barbecue. The vines began to burn, and Chen managed to rescue Yun from the mouth of the man-eating flower. When Yun emerged, Chen asked her tensely if she was okay, and if she could still move, emphasizing that time was running out and they still needed to rescue Huangshi. Tina's dress had been torn from the ordeal, so Chen gave her his royal dress to cover herself. After successfully rescuing everyone, they started running away. Chen continued to throw flintstones at trees, causing them to burn, ensuring they didn't have to worry about hyenas lurking behind. Suddenly, Chen spotted water ahead. He urged everyone to keep moving forward and jump into the water as it would keep them safe. However, a hyena was still following Yun and was about to attack her. Chen saw that Yun was in danger, so he asked her to watch behind and ran towards her to save her. He came under attack by the hyena, but managed to hold off its attack. Hector and Huangshi were also tense and unsure what to do. Chen urgently told everyone to run away as the fire was spreading quickly. He assured them he would follow right behind, though he was worried about wearing down the hyena before the fire reached them. Suddenly, an arrow appeared out of nowhere and struck the hyena, killing it instantly. When Chen turned back to see who had shot the arrow, to his surprise, it was Tina. He noticed that her talent for archery had been activated. Chen asked Yun if she knew how to use a bow, and she responded that she had learned by watching him earlier. Yun explained that she had twisted her ankle and was low on strength, unable to make it out on her own, urging the others to save themselves. Chen shouted at her, dismissing her suggestion as nonsense, and then lifted her onto his back, starting to run. Hector urged Chen to hurry up as time was running out. He also asked Huangshi if he wanted to reach faster, suggesting that Huangshi could carry him with his strength, but Huangshi declined. As Chen continued running, Yun suddenly told him that she had planned to use this opportunity to accuse him, asking if he had planned the bull attack on their Coconut Grove clan. Chen asked her why she would think that. Yun responded that she already knew he wouldn't admit it. She also mentioned that on the day the bulls entered their territory, they were already injured. However, their weapons couldn't cut through the tough bull hide, so who had injured them? Chen's people seemed particularly skilled at handling these bulls, which heightened her suspicions. But she knew these suspicions wouldn't convince the queen, so she proceeded with the assassination attempt. Yun then pressed her bone knife against Chen's neck, asking if she attacked now. He wouldn't be able to resist, right? Or he could simply leave her in the fire and be done with the trouble once and for all. Chen asked her to hold him tight as they were nearing the edge, promising that afterward she could deal with him however she wanted. Yun agreed, saying she would let it go for now but would keep an eye on him. She warned that if he ever betrayed Lisa or the Coconut Grove clan, she would kill him. Chen asked if that was settled, then accepted it. Yun grew frustrated that Chen was so stubborn and still wouldn't admit it. Finally, they jumped into the water and escaped from the fire. At that moment, Chen realized that with 2 members of their group unable to move, they would have to postpone their search for the giant for now. Chen instructed everyone to return to the place where they had found a bunch of plants, as they would need more of those herbs. The scene then shifted to some time later, where Huangshi was very relieved after applying the medicinal herb and feeling no pain. Chen asked Huangshi and Yun to rest for a while he and Hector went to gather more herbs. While they were collecting more herbs, Hector suddenly caught the scent of hyenas and wondered if he had picked it up during the fight. Out of nowhere, Chen spotted some baby hyenas in front of them and realized the hyenas weren't seeking revenge. They were protecting their young. Feeling threatened, Chen saw an opportunity to tame the hyenas as hunting dogs and happily accepted the quest. As they were leaving the area, they were startled by the sound of roaring nearby. Yun asked, "What's that sound?" But Chen recognized it and tensed, thinking they couldn't be this unlucky. A bear emerged from behind the trees, prompting Huangshi to shout in fear that it was a man-eating bear. Chen pondered their options. With 2 injured people, outrunning it was impossible. He instructed everyone to circle around and retreat while he kept the bear occupied. Hector and Ayun tried to protest, but Chen shouted at them to follow his orders without argument. He insisted they would only slow him down and stressed that they had only one chance to survive, so they must obey him. Chen asks Hector to get Ayun and Huang Shi to safety. Chen starts fighting the bear while everyone else runs away. Chen finds himself face to face with the bear. He attacks, but the bear strikes back, sending Chen flying through the air and injuring him slightly. Tor sees this and becomes worried. He tells Huang Shi and Ayun to take the little hyenas back, while he goes to help the king. Huang Shi shouts at Hector not to intervene, having witnessed Chen's formidable strength firsthand. He believes even the strongest opponent couldn't defeat Chen, and staying with him would only hinder Chen's movements. Huang Shi suggests they follow Chen's orders instead. Chen thinks that with his last attack he has gained the bear's attention. He decides to lure the powerful bear away and escape. Chen provokes the bear to chase him, and when the bear starts pursuing him, he runs in the opposite direction of the others to ensure their safety. After getting some distance, Chen realizes that Hector and the others have been left far behind, so he decides to evade the bear and make his escape. To his surprise, he suddenly gets attacked from behind. Chen manages to dodge the attacks and wonders who could be attacking him now. Perhaps a giant rat monster? But to his astonishment, he sees that it's the saber-toothed tiger he fought when he first arrived in this world. Even the saber-toothed tiger seemed surprised to see Chen again, but their reunion was interrupted when the bear caught up to them. Chen now found himself in a perilous situation, knowing he couldn't match the strength and speed of both enemies together. He contemplated whether to use the power of Pangu, but he knew that doing so would leave him weakened for a long time, possibly causing him to pass out for days. Moreover, even if he survived fighting the tiger and the bear in his weakened state, he feared that the giant stone clan might attack while he was vulnerable, leading to his demise. As both the bear and the saber-toothed tiger attacked Chen, he tried to maneuver away, hoping to let them engage each other in combat. Suddenly, his system detected extreme danger and activated emergency escape mode. In this mode, Chen would temporarily gain 20 agility points and convert strength to stamina for 600 seconds. However, once the mode ended, 33% of his three main attributes would be permanently reduced. As soon as the mode started, Chen felt a surge of a different kind of power, allowing him to leap into the air and dodge both attacks, causing the bear and tiger to collide with each other. Chen was impressed by his newfound lightness and explosive speed. However, the bear and tiger continued to pursue him, prompting Chen to become anxious and start running away. He wondered why they weren't fighting each other. After some time, he finally managed to lose them. Chen felt a bit disappointed, realizing that while the emergency escape mode was amazing, its cost was too high. Chen realized he had run all the way to the snowy mountain, so he decided to make use of the remaining time and search for the giant. Within moments, he covered a significant distance in one stride, grateful for the emergency escape mode that spared him from exhausting himself in the deep snow. Upon reaching the mountaintop, he finally saw someone and wondered if it was the legendary giant. After seeing the figure, Chen's system indicated that he had completed the task and received the reward. However, he now faced the second part of the giant quest, launching an attack on the giant to gain 10 attribute points. Upon reading this, Chen became furious and questioned whether the system had malfunctioned. Suddenly, one of the giant's pets sensed something, prompting Chen to quickly hide in place. Chen thought about the tempting reward of 10 attribute points and decided to give it a try by running as fast as he could. He picked up a stone and threw it towards the giant. The stone traveled slowly and hit the giant, but it was so small that the giant didn't even notice. However, the giant's pet saw the stone and started growling, sensing something amiss. Chen became very excited after completing the task and receiving the reward of 10 attribute points. However, the system then showed a third part of the quest. Chen had to take down the giant alone to earn a reward of 100 attribute points. Seeing this, Chen was torn. The prospect of gaining 100 attribute points was incredibly tempting and could significantly change his circumstances. He debated whether to attempt it. While he was still considering his options, the giant was disturbed by the growling of its pets. In anger, the giant slammed the ground and commanded them to keep quiet. The slam sent snow flying through the air, covering Chen completely. His senses were momentarily knocked out, giving him a stark realization of the giant's power. He muttered to himself that even 10,000 attribute points wouldn't be worth risking his life for. The scene shifted to the evening, a few days later, at the Newbie clan territory where Lisa asked the girls from her Coconut Grove clan if they had found anything during their night patrol. The girls apologized, saying they hadn't found anyone. Lisa instructed the Coconut Grove clan girls to expand their patrol area and continue searching. Ah-Yun suggested preparing for the worst, fearing Chen might be dead. This angered Lisa, who sharply told Ah-Yun to stay silent, reminding her that Chen had risked his life to save them all. Suddenly, a boy from the Bei clan arrived, shouting that their king had returned. As Chen reached the territory, everyone rushed towards him, concerned about his well-being. Mia approached Chen and noticed he was with Ah Gun. She asked Ah Gun why he hadn't lit the beacon to alert them earlier, so they could have come to rescue Chen sooner. Ah Gun responded that it was King Chen's order not to make a fuss about his return. Just then, Lisa arrived and shouted at everyone to stop crowding around Chen and allow him to go back to rest. Lisa then took hold of Chen and instructed everyone to return to their respective posts. She declared that she would take care of Chen for the time being, but warned that if she found out anyone had leaked this information, there would be severe consequences. Everyone got scared and agreed to it. In the house, Chen said he was glad that Sam and the others came back safely, and that he didn't expect them to bring back hyena cubs too. Chen also asked Lisa to let Sam raise the cubs since Sam would need extra help when he goes out alone in the future. Lisa angrily told Chen to worry about himself first, and that no matter how capable he was, he should take care. Chen responded that his injuries weren't severe. He was just exhausted and would be fine after a good sleep. He said he should handle the tribe matters first. Lisa put her leg on his stomach and slowly moved it downwards. She said all right, she would inform Sam, but reminded Chen that he was the king of the tribe and didn't have to do everything himself. Most importantly, she didn't want to lose her man. At that moment, Lisa furiously stepped on his sensitive area, causing Chen to tensely ask her to move away. Lisa removed her leg and told Chen to get some rest. Chen was stunned by the scene and realized that Lisa was becoming more and more dominating. After leaving the house, Lang Guchui asked about Chen's health. Lisa responded that Chen was healthy but needed some rest, so she didn't let anyone disturb him. After that, Chen opened his system screen and was happy to see that even after losing 4 attribute points, he had gained 10 attribute points. For him, the trip was worth it. However, having high strength and low agility wasn't useful in critical moments, so high agility was very important for survival. Chen increased his agility first, and the system showed that his agility increased to 5 points, reaching a threshold. To increase it further, it required double the attribute points. Chen then wondered if spending double the attribute points to increase agility to 10 would hit another threshold, causing the required points to double again, and then quadruple, and so on. This meant getting 22 points in agility wouldn't be very easy. Chen then wondered if there was a threshold for everything. To check this, he decided to maximize each attribute to its threshold first. Chen increased his stone attribute and he felt an intense sensation, as if his body was going to burst. His shoes and pants tore because his size was getting bigger. He noticed that only 2 attributes were left to max out to their threshold levels. Tiredly, Chen lay on the bed and thought that he should add his next attribute points to stamina, raising it to its threshold level. Then Chen went to sleep. The scene then shifted to some time later, where everything was running smoothly in the newbie territory. Lisa was teaching everyone how to use a slingshot. She even did a trial run, hitting 6 targets, grazing 1, and missing 1. Out of nowhere, Chen arrived and praised everyone for their progress despite it being their first attempt. Seeing him, Lisa furiously asked what he was doing there since she had told him to rest. Chen responded that he was fit and fine, but Lisa noticed his new pants and thought he had been with another girl and was about to punish him. Chen quickly explained that it was just his increased power causing his clothes not to fit anymore, pleading with her to let it go. Lisa then told Chen that the Slingers team had formed, but it would take some time for them to become experts. Chen asked how Huang Shi and Ah Yun were doing, and if they had recovered from their injuries. Lisa shared that Huang Shi didn't want to stay at rest and be a burden to the tribe, so he went to the south post to guard the beacon. She also asked Ah Yun to bring food and water to Huang Shi, so there was no need to worry about him. Lisa also mentioned that she was more concerned about Ah Yun because her injuries were less severe, but perhaps because she had scolded Ah Yun earlier. Ah Yun was in a bad mood. Chen said to Lisa that Ah Yun cares a lot about her and silently bears everything for her, so Lisa should treat Ah Yun better. Chen then shared that he was going to rest again because in a few days, he needed to go north and harvest those precious millet plants. During that time, he would also continue inventing. The scene then shifted after 4 days, where Chen had prepared a table of numbers from 1 to 9 and planned to teach them simple addition and subtraction later. Chen gained 20 attribute points for writing language and creating numbers. Then, his system showed that his technology points had reached 100, and a new technology shop had opened. This technology shop allowed Chen to exchange technology points for various useful tools and heritage plaques. Once items were exchanged, they couldn't be returned. The system displayed a comprehensive list of items and resources that Chen could exchange with his technology points. Excited by the array of choices, Chen carefully examined the options and decided to pick an item for the first time. It's intriguing to think about what item Chen might exchange first with his technology points. As for the potential conflicts like the giant stone clan attacking or tensions with Tina, those could add a lot of drama to the story. So be curious to see how it all unfolds. Stay tuned for more updates on the channel.